Ahoy, landlubbers. It's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Hi, hello, and welcome to another stream. It is Friday, June 26th. We're coming up on July 4th, an auspicious celebration in the year 2026. What a cool and exciting celebration. I mean, for me, it sort of coincides with my birthday, which is a way of reminding you, the viewer, that next weekend I will not be streaming. And it's not because I'm some super zealous patriot weirdo, but really just because taking the time off around July 4th is an easy way to extend the birthday. Thank you, Tim. I should thank you. Hello and welcome. I hope you had a nice dinner. Yeah. I was asked how the week was going, and it's like not great, but to be honest, I don't know that very much of what's been going on is really interesting or valuable enough to discuss on stream. Um, so the anecdote that has occurred quite recently that I will use to demonstrate the type of week I'm having, and I won't elaborate further because I'll just let you extrapolate as much or as little as you want. Um, Today I decided to try and finally hang up. I have this dragon fellow I got from like a carnival game on birthday vacation trip some years ago. A little dragony guy, very excited, very like "Rrr," is how I would describe his face. He's not up close, obviously. He has a little loop on him that I think is mainly for put him on like carnival prize wall. But I was, like since I started like hanging the little keychain guys on the like weird shelf nubs that exist, so you can stack these on other shelves that like probably aren't load bearing. Um, I had thought for a while, like, I wonder if this guy, if he would like hang up there, or if much like these a lot of these like Pokemon Center like keychain plush have these like weird shape things that like obviously you could like clip this onto like a zipper on a bag and it'd be fine, but like their shape is not conducive to like holding their weight up there, so like none of these work on that, which is a little disappointing, but obviously not a big deal. So I go to put him up there and he actually sits, and I was shocked by this. And then like setting up the stream, I'm sort of like in and out of here, like doing wrapping up things in the kitchen after dinner, and like it's kind of multitasking for a little while usually. Um, so I came back in here and I was like adjusting him a little bit to try and like see if I could get him to not obscure the like mantis there quite so much, which like I think I had it for a while, but then what happened is like I noticed he had like a little something like in his mouth. I'm like, that's weird. Like I just put him up there, and pretty sure that wasn't there before. And I start like reaching towards it, and I get a good look, and it's not like a little fuzz or something like I thought from like being next to other like fabric for a while. Not, it was like an entire like modestly sized spider, not a small one, not like a huge one, but like a whole like daddy long leg spider was in its mouth. I was like, oh, that ain't it. That's not what I wanted. Dispatched the spider, and yeah, like that's. I wish that was like the first time in my life I'd gone to reach for something and it turned out to be a spider. At least this time I noticed before I like picked it up. Not that anything bad happened the last time. It was just really skeezy. I didn't like that so much. But yeah, honestly, I think that's like a reasonably good encapsulation of the type of week I'm having. It's like trying to make things nice and then like an entire spider. Dalmatian says just watched Spider Noir yesterday. It's good. It is good, right? I'm glad you liked it. I mean, I've tried to extol its virtues without overselling it. I've mentioned it like a couple times on stream. I really enjoyed it. It's not like the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I think they totally succeeded at what they set out to do, and I was happy with the result. And I'd like to see them do more. I don't know if they will. Um, Things I've been watching this week. I'll give you a rundown. Depending on how the stream goes, maybe at the end I'll go into detail on some number of these if anyone is interested in it. But I think, I mean, honestly, it's been a long week for me. I don't know if we're running super late. Not feeling like 100%. Um, but like yeah, I'll give you a rundown. I'm over the last 7 days I've watched I unless I'm forgetting something, I think I've watched 7 movies. Three of them were on Sunday. But then like one each weeknight since then. Uh, they run the gambit. They vary in quality. So the very first one I watched, I don't remember the name of, and it doesn't bear looking up the name of it because it was real bad. It won't surprise you to know that like I decided to watch some absolute garbage horror movies with some free time on a Sunday. It's something I've been doing a lot this year for some reason. I keep looking for something that will like feel like similar to like 999 or something. Like so many people make these like death game movies, which you could do like kind of on a budget. I mean, like like a lot of horror movies, you don't need like a lot of money, but like they don't get good writing and then they're bad. The noteworthy thing about whatever this was called, I no wait, it was called something uh, like Dying Game Legacy of Death or something stupid like that. It was definitely subtitled like Legacy of Death. And the noteworthy thing is that it was like inexplicably like H.H. Holmes themed. And like to be honest, I knew like next to nothing about H.H. Holmes until we played The Devil in Me in for Halloween last year. And as bad as that game story is, I would definitely recommend you play that than watch this movie is really bad. Other noteworthy facts about this movie, stars John Voight and Will Sasso, which is as weird a combination as you think. And yeah, it's not worth going into further. Um, there was one that I believe this one was literally just called Game of Death. Is imagine like Jumanji meets like a cult killing game situation. Has like two animated sequences in it that are like inexplicably like incredibly well done, and like has the framework of a much better movie than it actually is super bad. Also very not good. Those were the only two. Well, that's not entirely true. Those were the true garbage movies. I watched like a time loop horror movie called Kill Me Again. That was a real diamond in the rough. I felt like it was kind of like lumped in with those other ones in like the horror slop arena. But that one like had kind of an interesting take on it and like pretty good acting and like the ending was like a little heavy-handed but was okay. Then some more recent titles you might know. They Will Kill You. Also, well, no, not really. This one's more of an action movie. They say it's a horror movie, but it's not, is my like one sentence review. People talk about it in the same sentence as uh, Ready or Not, particularly Ready or Not 2. And like people, I think they like came out like a month apart or something. And so people are like, They Will Kill You is like way better. And I super hard disagree. Like I'm particularly inclined to like the Ready or Not movies. I like both of them a lot. And so I'm biased, but like I respect what they were going for in this movie. I thought it was way worse, like way worse. Also, like not even the same genre is weird. Whatever. Um, I watched the movie Honey Don't, which isn't a horror movie. It's just one that I think like recently dropped on some streaming service. I don't remember which one. And the trailers for that looked really good. And here's the thing about that movie: it's super fun. The character writing is really good. The actors have like a super great time and do a great performance. The story is absolute hog turd. It's so bad. It's actually like a really fun watch, and like I wouldn't necessarily like not recommend it, but like it's not good. It's an interesting one. Then I turned that into a Margaret Qualley double feature by finally watching The Substance. Yikes. Yikes. That one's a lot. That's a whole lot of movie film for theaters or home release. There's a lot going on there. Um, that one's not so much like a fun watch, but it's like a really interesting. I think they accomplished what they were going for, and they just didn't really care if you liked it, and that's fine. It's an interesting movie that I also inversely like don't necessarily recommend because it's very distressing. Um, and then finally, yesterday I watched something that I had only like vaguely heard of. Another one that like hit some streaming service recently and like was in conversation it was like in a similar subject to something I had watched recently. And that turned into a Zazie Beetz double feature for the week. She stars in They Will Kill You as well. But this movie is called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. It's another time loop movie. It's kind of an action comedy. Um, Really, really novel and interesting take on how to incorporate a time loop into the story. Highly recommend. That one was really good. Um, there's like not there's not a lot of criticism I have about it. There's like one unbelievably stupid contrivance toward the end of the movie that really big time pissed me off. And they like it wouldn't have been that hard to make it not so cartoonishly stupid. But like everything else in the movie is like solid and it's fun and weird and doing a lot of interesting stuff. Has like an unbelievably dark section with an extremely funny series of jokes in it. Yeah, The Substance is the one with Demi Moore, who like takes the substance and then grows a Margaret Qualley out of her back, and then they fight for control of one life in like the most horrendous, distressing, disgusting way possible. I was curious about Send Help because Rachel McAdams, but did not enjoy it. Oh, that's good to know because like I've been wondering about that one. Like I love Rachel McAdams, huge Rachel McAdams fan. Can't immediately think like there's probably at least one thing I've seen where she's like not able to salvage something that sucks. I feel like I've seen that happen once. But like I feel like she's really good in mostly everything she's in, and I just like her a lot. She picks a lot of good projects. Would you not also want to grow a Margaret Qualley out of your bag? I mean, I probably would, but I don't think it would accomplish like what I would want from that. Also, like the Margaret Qualley is like not chill at all. Super unchill. Um, but like if you want to see her play a much more likable character, then watch Honey Don't, or maybe don't because the story is awful, but it's a really fun garbage movie. It's so weird. The two movies are really almost inverse, where like the story of The Substance is pretty good. I don't know, maybe that's overstating it. The like the style it's funny because like I really think of The Substance as a movie that features style over substance, and I genuinely don't mean that as like an irritating pun. Like the sound design of that movie alone is like incredible and like deeply fascinating. And like it's clearly like telling like kind of like a broad morality play in just like the most disgusting way possible. But like I don't know, it clearly is trying to say something. Where Honey Don't like has no idea what it's trying to do, but like man, the vibes are immaculate. Um. Anyway, that's all the movies there is. In short, forget most of those. If you're into like horror and or time loop, kill. I think it's called Kill Me Again. I didn't double check that one. I'm pretty sure that's called Kill Me Again. That one's pretty solid. You might like They Will Kill You. I was really underwhelmed considering how people describe it. Honey Goat's a lot of fun. The story sucks. The Substance isn't fun at all, but it's really interesting. And good luck, have fun, don't die. Just good, just a good movie, just a good movie that I recommend almost regardless of it. It's so rare these days to encounter like a movie that's like just like, yeah, it's a good movie. Like you don't have to qualify it by being like, if you're in the mood for this or if you're okay with like this triggering thing. Like there's some, stakes in that, so like bad things happen. It's not like cozy vibes, but like it's a good movie. Gonna need a letterbox account from you. I've only ever heard of Letterbox from Northern Lion, and he like talks about it a lot. Um, does it does it do anything other than just keep track of your reviews? I don't really understand what it is. I already talked about that more than I intended to. Nope. It's an interesting service. All right. Let's go. Let's hop over to the game and see if it crashes, which obviously it has. The game has crashed, obviously, immediately at moment zero. Give it a second. Okay, great. Actually, give it like another second before trying to boot it up. Maybe that'll help. It won't, but maybe it will. Let me know if you have seen any interesting movies lately. I have plans to see Disclosure Day tomorrow with my mom, which I've been looking forward to tremendously all week, which is good because it's not been like a great week. It was a somewhat productive week. I'll tell you this. This is while we wait for the game to load for several minutes. I ran like a lot of errands throughout this week, and like the last one was last night. And when I was out driving, I got for the first time in a while like the tire pressure alert. My car is new enough that it like tells me when the tire pressure is low, so I don't have to think about it. And it's really not a big deal. Like my dad, I think my dad got it for me. Like a while back, I got this thing. Hold on. I forget the name of it. Some like fancy like tire inflating device. You just like charge it off like an AC adapter. Okay, great. And it's super good at doing its job. It inflates the tires really good. It's great. So like it's not a big deal that like every, I don't know, like 6 months or something. Wait, I could probably figure this out. The last time I got the tire alarm was like when I drove out to see my sister, which was like October. It was either like late September or October. So like, like many months, because it's June 26th now. It's almost July. And so like it's not a big deal. Like tires happen. And then as I like when I like pulled into my garage, I took the trash cans out late. We have like Friday pickup for trash in my neighborhood. And like normally I'll just do it like right when I get off work, like first thing. But like it was just like the time I've been trying to do errands, which is like right after work, is like the same time it's been raining like every single day this week. Which like it hasn't rained like hard, but like the forecast is like it could rain like pretty hard. So I'm like trying not to like be out in it. So like I like waited for it to like chill out, and then like like it's like practically sunset, even though it's like late. Sun's out late because it's summer. And I'm taking the trash cans out, and like a lizard just like jumps off some part of the trash can and just like runs directly in my garage, and I'm like, now I like really don't want to like go in there and like spend like, I don't know, 12 to 15 minutes inflating all 4 of my tires when there's like a mystery lizard somewhere in the garage. Not thrilled about that. So Showgirls on Wednesday. Never seen Showgirls, although like not that long ago someone posted like a big long clip from Showgirls on like some like movie Reddit that got like suggested to me, and like, man, that scene was weird, man. Sticky trap time. I don't know, man. I don't know where it went. I don't know. I should probably put one out there. More strictly, I should probably put the one that I got out for like one of the other things that happened this week in the garage. So now it's not doing what it's there for. Alright, we're done talking about my week now. Unrated version is an experience. I feel like the rated version is an experience. Keen also says, you might enjoy Dark Matter. The book was fascinating. Not so much a time loop thing as a deep dive into multiverse theory. Also a series on Apple TV. I mean, I know that of the series, I think there was a different series that I think is wholly unrelated that was called Dark Matter. It was probably like produced by Canada, considering like when it came out, but it like aired on the Sci-Fi Channel for like 3 seasons. The first season was amazing, and then they like wrote off the main character, like seemingly for like contract dispute reasons, because it was like wholly inorganic to the plot of the show or whatever. And like that did kind of put a damper on things. It didn't ruin the series, but like it kind of like messed with the chemistry of the cast, which had been like super good in the first season. I recommend it, although like it does like regrettably just sort of like end abruptly and get canceled like on a cliffhanger thing. But like that's a pretty good series. How do I get to the DLC? Anyone remember? Anyone know this? It's on the main screen, huh? Yeah, sure is. Okay. Does this game never end, Vasco? No one dies and no one leaves. That's why I'm playing Rise of the Golden Idol until the heat death of the universe is achieved. Which is a perfect segue into we're playing the game now. So in terms of recap, I'm not really gonna bother recapping the main story of the game. For one, it's all gosh darn over the place, and there are many videos up on YouTube which you may watch and make the small number of views go up and give me the small happiness. Just a little smirk would be good. That's fine. No shot, this game is still going. Zachary, you were here last time when we started the 4-part DLC, which each contained like probably like 4 to 5 parts. Like you know it's not over. You know it's not done. Also, hi Zacula, hello. What I will recap here is that we finished like one fragment of this DLC. So like on the, it doesn't even back up to the whatever. So like I thought there was one DLC because the last game had 2 DLCs and I paid for them equally. This one you apparently just buy like 1 season pass and you get 4 DLCs. So like I thought we were close to done, and we're probably like a little over halfway done the content of the game. But so last time we started the Sins of New Wells, which seems to follow, we've only played one segment of it. It seems to follow this like pair of like police officers who like appear in like honest to god like 1.5 scenes from the main game. But like it's gonna crash. Is it finally gonna crash? But we completed a segment called Following Orders, where they were investigating like a hit and run that escalated into like a shooting, into like some mysterious like otherworldly nonsense, and like a guy lost a hand. He had like downstairs footprint hand or something. It's despite strong enough to carry you through 4 DLCs. I mean, the last one is pirates. I have the opportunity to do the funniest thing, which is to like try and justify playing it and then have the Pirates DLC be the worst thing I've ever experienced. Like, how can I not do that for the content? You understand, Zacula. Anyway, in the course of that investigation, we like learned about some street gang that is like selling drugs out of a chicken stand that claims to have something called cucumber sauce, which we all agreed is water. It's simply water. It also it seems as though we're following an investigation into what happened to, what is that guy's name? Echo something. And there was like a guy in the main game who like was a professor of Lemurian history, and then he got bit by a radioactive PowerPoint and like became possessed by like an ancient warlord and then started to do crimes. This is about to say, what if the pirate DLC is total hog turd? I mean, do you think there's a chance it's not? Do you believe in your heart of hearts that it's not the worst one? I assume it's the worst one, which will be saying something by that point. But we'll find out together when we get there. For now, I'm going to click on what I think is meant to be a horse. It's hard to say because no one knows how to draw a horse, but also because this simply doesn't really look like a horse. Trouble Unleashed. A tragic day at the races. All right, that implies horse. This, at least, implies horse. I'm pretty sure I clicked and yet... Okay. All right, okay, credit where it's due, all right? You know I love to hate. I know only hate. This is a really cool shot. This is super stylish use of their artwork to a way that, like, the main game could never. Now, that's not to say that the puzzle will be any good, but, like, this looks sick as heck. This is awesome. Okay, hold on. There appear to be some lock-picking tools and a bloodied smock. Someone also appears to have broomed up this... I don't know, it looks less like a horse, even though I've now more or less confirmed it's a horse. Pistol's been recently fired. Emergency release. That's what you get. You get that in the substance, as you occasionally get the emergency release, and it is profoundly unpleasant when it happens. This guy's got a bloody lip. And a note that says, from 2 to 3 p.m., feed dogs. From 3 p.m. onwards, prep for race. Then run errand for HB. HB, number 17, has become overly protective. Easier just to keep by my side at all times. Also a key. Like it says, Salem and I watched a movie called Becky yesterday, and it absolutely rules. It's a home invasion movie, but instead of others usually go, a 13-year-old girl named Becky ends up murdering neo-Nazis who broke into her house. Yeah, that sounds solid. I don't hate it. You missed me talking about movies for like a really long time, Zacula. The main takeaway is that probably my top general recommendation of the many I watched this week is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. That one's on Hulu. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but that one's good. Also, Joel McHale is there. Not bad. Like a Joel McHale. Okay, Zira. And, like a pet crate full of tools and a film reel for some reason. Okay, we've got one of these, like, detective dialogue questions. Good thing we got here before they could get rid of the body. Find anything out, Roy? Looks like something happened at the office as well. Well, I'll be darned. How'd they get past those 2 guards? I have a theory. I'll have to check some details. Anything else? How'd your interviews go? It's interesting, Cliff. They're evasive, but I'm not sensing any outright lies, except perhaps this vet business. Oh, wait. Was this arm here before? Was there a whole arm here before, guys? It has a gunshot wound. Okay, I think we've looked at everything now. Leaving. Oh no, Zacula says almost crashed the other day during scooter time because a squirrel ran out in front of him. Crisis was avoided. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Oh man. I have to be honest. While that transition was happening, where the screen was simply just black for a really long time, but like the cursor turned into a magnifying glass, like I thought that like they spent like their whole budget for art on like that one great composition in the like horse stable or whatever, and then they were like, oh yeah, let's go into the office where it's midnight and the power is out and there's no lights, and just see if you can find the hotspots on nothing. Like the way this game runs, like I legitimately thought there was a non-zero chance that like black screen was like the intentional result of like moving, like transitioning between scenes. I do like that you can see the little like chase rabbit run around the middle of the track. This guy feels like this guy's my vibe. This is how I feel. I'm almost certain this guy's having a worse week than I am, but like this is how I feel. I took a hit for that guy. Hope he got what he came here for. Now I've just got to collect myself and keep away from those cops. Okay. This lady, she's got the long face. Don't ask her why it's long. It just is. So, you didn't see anything? Not at the kennels. I must apologize. I did see two men running away from the office, and someone else went up to the door a little bit later. Could you describe the person? Not really. I was distracted by the sound of the race starting and that lovely polka-dotted dog. I had money on her. It looks like Gumby mixed with Pinocchio mixed with Michael Cera. I mean, I definitely see the Pinocchio, although to me, like, something about the stance reads more like Quasimodo. Not sure about the others. Okay, let's check the ticket booth. There's a digital rabbit. What fun. Okay, hold on. The Friday races. 4:10 p.m. Arlach, 02. Paddington, 08. T-Weasel, 24. Jess, 15. 4:50 p.m. Runner, 21. Maggie, 18. Godsend, 06. Fast Legs, 03. In reserve with Kennel Master, Benny, 17. Blue, 27. Gonna regret learning any of that. While I was waiting in line to make my bet, some guy in a big coat shoved past, calling out for Benny. Did he find him? I don't know. He searched around for a moment, then suddenly ran off towards the wooden gates. Well, Benny is like a horse or a dog or something. You almost dog. Okay, it's a dog track, so it's a dog. So Benny's a dog. Okay, sir. Godsend 06. 2. Win. Stake. $5. A subsidiary member of Bauer National. Now, I guess as opposed to like to place or whatever, this feels like it's written weird. I don't know. It's that Bill Murray in The Life Aquatic. Yes, absolutely yes. I'm shocked you even have to ask that. Okay, hold on. Let's talk to the ticket taker. I've been here all day. I will say, I did hear some people around the office area making a commotion. Did you hear what they were saying? One was hurling insults about Ms. Bauer, saying she ruined their business, and that she's the mayor's pet. Insulting Hildegard Bauer here seems unwise and unwarranted. Miss Bauer is a hard worker. She always finds time to support her favorite girl. It feels like that's, at best, unrelated to whatever we're talking about. I can kind of see Adrian Brody. I'm always by Mrs. Bauer's side, and I don't talk to the police. Just for the record, can you tell me about the victim? Ellipse. Did he have any enemies? People would wish to harm him? Ellipse. Hey, Nico, welcome to the stream. On 7 months of a 12-month gift sub from Demolition. Well, thank you, Demolition, and hello. Welcome to the stream, Nico. Let's see, this guy in his, like, 80s orange power suit. Hey, wait a minute! This guy lost his downstairs hand or whatever. This is the guy from the place. He was in the altercation and he lost his hand. Cause like the skinny tie and the like orange coat, that's like the signature of the gang whose name I don't remember. And I'm sure I don't need to. I'm sure that's not important. I was with Leo before it happened. He told me to make the call that Zero was ready for pickup. Pickup? Oh, to take to the vet. Zero is one of our dogs. Very sick. You probably don't want to get too close to Zero, the dog, who is very sick. Probably don't want to get very close to Zero, the dog, who's very sick. You probably don't want to get too close. Only time I left my post was to chase off a troublemaker while the race was happening. Is this your usual post? It is now. We had a break-in on Tuesday night, so we're not letting anything slide. We're keeping tight watch on this office day and night. Andiers, that's the gang. Keep Andiers out. Yellow Jackets work in pairs. Stupid jerks. Is that a haiku? Someone get the haiku bot to check if that's a haiku. Lost his downstairs hand? Is that a euphemism? Surprisingly, no. I don't remember exactly what the thing was. I think you were here for this last week, Neko. There was like a thing at the end of the Saturday stream last week where we like literally followed the footsteps of like a chase for like several gang members to like beat up a guy who had like a magic dissolving thing. And like one of like the very last like clue detail I found was like at the bottom of the building, like once they'd like chased to the stairs, like there was just like casually like a hand on the ground, and it was like the clue words were like downstairs something hand, and I was like, oh no, downstairs something hand. Then like the guy in the orange, he lost his downstairs hand. Hold on, this guy also has a note. I've got a shipment of 6 items going to the new asset today. Nothing shady about that. The usual method should work. Let him in for pickup at 3:45. I'll be out grabbing a seat. Also, if the blonde comes whining again, tell him to suck it up and keep working with the Tsar. If he can't defend himself against a one-handed man, that's his own darn problem. The Tsars are a useful part of this organization. I'm guessing the Tsars work in pairs, those jerks? Downstairs hand, you remember. See, I told you were here for that. Listen, there's a lot of information I can keep track of simultaneously while streaming. It's recently been brought to my attention by the fact that I'm like watching slightly more Twitch streams than usual, and like some of them are streams I'm not sub to, that like I probably should be more aware of how like ads are set up on my channel. I know some people like proactively like run ads at certain times. I don't really know how any of that works. I've never bothered to care. No one's ever complained, but it also just might mean that people like don't stick here when they stop in or whatever. I was contemplating like turning that into like a channel point redemption of like chat break, where like at some convenient time we call like a timeout and like run out an ad timer at a time that we are able to pull focus from whatever's going on or something. I don't know if that seems useful or interesting to anyone. Hold on, let me check this trash. So sorry about the mess. Benny knocked over the plant, which hit the stuff off the shelf. But I gathered up all 7 items, and nothing seems broken. Weren't the other ones 6 items? Weren't there 6 items? No more slums. Heritage building renovation plan. Moira promises Hildegard delivers. Wednesday, meet with BRW board. RE Heritage Project. Ensure MM absent. MM? Thursday, meet with restaurant staff. RE stock replenishment and new security measures. Sure sounds like this is part of the same criminal activity. Let's look at this lady. Nothing is missing, just like last time. All they did was cause a mess. Any idea how they got in? No, I'm in here all day and I keep locked up when I'm not. Now could you hurry this up, detective? I have all my meetings in this office and your presence is not conducive to business. She also has a collar for Jess, which is slightly weird, but not like immediately troubling. I'm gonna click on this just so it stops making woobly noises. I'm sorry, what? What's this one? What is this? I mean, why is it, like, also important? Has anyone in this family seen a dog before? I mean, whatever. Okay. Look at the trash. The shelf. Okay, hold on. Wait, film reel tool. So, like, a bunch, but maybe not all of the items are in that, like, pet carry case. Like I said, she has eaten a lot of ice cream to try and stay cool during the European heat wave. I had an encounter yesterday that, like, almost triggered, like, full-on depression. But I think I've, like, avoided that. But I was feeling low enough that, like, because I was already out doing errands, I was like, I'm going to get an extra large Dairy Queen Blizzard and keep most of it in my freezer to eat later. But I'm just going to have a bunch of ice cream. I'm just going to have it. Okay, I'll probably have to look at this later. It was a good decision. I'm also pretty sure they're finally going to discontinue the Donut Blizzard. So I was like, it's probably a good opportunity to have my last Donut Blizzard. Okay, Bauer Restoration Works. Weird to have, like, boarded up the inside of your own not broken office window. That's cool. The lock, however, has been reasonably well tampered with. Definitely looks like we were scraping some tools against it to pick the lock, but also kind of like maybe someone tried to just, like, remove the faceplate. Like, that might be two separate incidents? Raced against the sun yesterday to eat most of a pint of ice cream. That seems like a net positive. Missing 9 spots? Yikes. Almost didn't see you up here. Do you know anything about what happened? I've just come down from the north side of town and don't know much about this place, but I think someone in a big coat entered the kennels. Hold on, for some reason this guy's got like a talk boy. The 3-day cassette tape is full. You know, the cassette tape that blinds you for just 3 days? The 3-day cassette tape? Need to hear the origin of the trigger. I could tell it. Like, it's more embarrassing than something I don't want to talk about. Like, one of the things I was going to do is, like, buy some new shorts. Because, like, I got some, like mid-late last year, and they're nice shorts. So I went back to the same place that I got them from last year, and they had like shorts that they said were from the same line, but are like clearly a different style. But I ended up buying them anyway because like it might be nice to have those. But so like I was just like out and doing that, and so like I go to check out with that, and like I like walk up to the you know the cash register place. And there's like a woman who's like maybe like a couple years older than me, like kind of in my like age range, and she's having this like super pleasant chat with this like older woman who she just finished ringing up. And like it, you know, it was like kind of small talk, but like she was just being like really like nice and warm to her. I was like, oh, that's like so nice. And so like, you know, I approach you know, once the older lady walks off and, you know, like leaves the store or whatever, like I approached with the shorts I was gonna buy, and I can't stress enough that like I didn't say anything, so like it's not a case where and okay, I'll do the preface after, which isn't how that works. But so like I like approached this woman who's being like super nice to this other lady, and then she's just like absolutely like rigid towards me, like acts like I'm her high school bully who like came to pick on her or something. Just like this complete mood change from like extremely sweet nice person to just like looks at my face and is just like seemingly like horrified by my existence. And I'm sure it's not something that's like actually personal in any way, but it was just like so jarring. Like it's not like I was like trying to like hit on this lady or anything. I was just like, oh, like a nice person. I don't have like a lot of nice social interaction because I work from home and don't have third spaces to go to. Like, I will have a pleasant exchange with this human being and have like a human moment. And she's like, okay, swamp monster, can you get out of my store? And it's like, yikes, lady, I literally just came over here. And it was really like triggering and distressing that like someone would just like look at me, like not even like my behavior, but just like see me and just be like, ugh. But like this, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe this old lady she served was a real life friend. I had considered that. That's totally possible. That's not like the vibe I got. Like she might just be like a regular customer, which is like kind of similar. But like the point is like there's a huge delta. Like I'm not saying this lady should be my best friend or owes me anything. But like as someone who like works in retail, maybe not like try to like, you know, cause me to shrivel and die with a glare like she's friggin' Medusa or something. Yeah, I mean, like clearly they're gonna want me to piece together some like insane series of. Let me look at the dogs. Yeah, gang, I need your help. Has anyone in chat seen a dog before? Does anyone like remember what a dog looks like? It's been like, it hasn't been that long. There was a weird dog on my property like 3 days ago. It didn't have a collar. I've never seen it before. I have no idea where it came from. Fairly large dog. Didn't look like this though, because these I don't think they're dogs. I think they're some other thing. This one's called Twizzle, or T-Wizzle. Jess, that one doesn't look like Jess. Maggie is kind of scratched. Godsend. Now here's the thing, like Do I take at face value that these tags are correct? These look like Lion King hyenas. They look way more like hyenas than they do like dogs, for sure. Oh, hang on, there's another gang member. He looks like Fry Guy incarnate. By which I mean Frylock. Although Fry Guy kind of works. Isn't that what the McDonald's things are called? I got here after the race is finished. I saw the dogs had gotten out and knew something was wrong. That's when I found Leo like that. You're looking a little worse for wear yourself. Oh, this? You don't need to worry about me, officer. Just some roughhousing. Now, it's interesting that he says this to a guy who I guess... Yeah, I think he's got a black eye. But, like, he doesn't mention to the guy who's missing a whole entire hand that, like, oh, that looks freshly bandaged and upsetting. Demolition says... Those aren't dogs. Those are wargs from Isengard's scouting forces. That also sounds much closer to correct. Oh, I have all the things now. Theoretically, I could solve the puzzle. By the way, I've been reflecting on this game a lot. It won't surprise you to know that I've been thinking about this game a lot. And, like, after we completed the main game of Rise of the Golden Idol last Saturday, I realized, like, what... Maybe the single biggest like disparity between the first game, Case of the Golden Idol, and this one, Rise of the Golden Idol, is in Case of the Golden Idol, like most of my time playing the game was like scouring for subtle clues that like I knew where they were and I knew what they implied, but I had to like work at looking at the bigger picture, which the clues were clear enough that you could like solvably, like deterministically, like reach the correct conclusion most of the time. There were a small number of situations where something felt like it was a little outside of the scope of like drawing a reasonable conclusion, and like those were like the like most frustrating moments of the entire game, like by and large. And so like, you know, it was like a really good game that had some rough spots is like largely what we're looking at. Whereas I feel like Rise of the Golden Idol is like the inverse, where like instead of me like thoughtfully like clicking between things and like knowing what the next clue I need to look at is and like comparing notes and figuring out what it means, but like reaching a satisfying conclusion, instead it gives me a bunch of information up front and then asks me to make these like huge logical leaps that like aren't necessarily like clearly supported by any of the evidence that's made available to you. And so like instead of like me spending most of the time like engaging in like fun logic puzzles, instead I'm just like staring at like the Mad Libs and then just like reverse engineering the correct solution from what's available instead of like actually like understanding what's going on or like having like an interesting time, if that makes sense. And I think that's like a huge difference, which like again, it's interesting that these two games like ostensibly work off of like the same puzzle system and kind of makes it seem like it's the same deal. And in my opinion, it's like they're really different. The games are really, really different. I appreciate chat being supportive. I wasn't intending to necessarily tell that story because I feel like it just makes me seem like a sad sack. And like I promise I'm like not fishing. It's just sort of like if you're gonna ask why like I was having like a super bad time yesterday, it was like that was like really emotionally distressing to me. On Tuesday, a member of the blank gang blanked the blank. They blanked blank, but left a blank to blank the blank's blank. On Friday at blank, the blank and the blank were busy blank, blank, blank. One member of the blank gang blanked the blank, while the other tried to blank the blank. Kind of feels like this is Andier. But there's also, what's the other one? Bunch of these are, I think it's the Czars, right? The Czars come downstairs alone or in pairs. Northsider? Is Northsider a gang? That sounds like it could be a gang. It's not capitalized. My second monitor is doing something weird. Okay, it's fine. It's always Blank getting up to trouble in these games. I know, and yet, like, we never see him on screen. It's like some weird Where's Waldo thing, you know? Death. On Friday at Blank, the Blank went into blank blank. When it went to blank blank items from the Blank. After blank blank, the Blank down the blank. After blank blank the Blank down, the Blank left with blank items. The blankth object was a blank, which had been blank the Blank. At around blank, the Blank saw blank's blank, and went looking for blank. When he saw that blank was a hybrid blank, he went to the Blank, while blank over the blank, the blank blank, the Blank. I mean, you see what I'm talking about, though, right? Like, legitimately, I feel like the first game had this really nice structure where, like, the puzzles were well crafted enough, for the most part, that they could get away with, like, pointing you, like, broadly in the direction of, like, what was going on without having, like, every second or third word just be blank and having you need to reconstruct the entire paragraph. And then, like, they really cleverly used that where, like, sometimes they would make there be some, like, difficult, like, revelation that required you to, like, subtly analyze something, but, like, they would point you to whatever that was by, like, phrasing something in an interesting way. And so you're like, wait, who did that? And then you have to, like, look and figure out who did it and why. As opposed to here where I'm just like, it just kind of, like, washes over me, you know? Okay, so... Where was the... Was it all in the office? The note? All 7 items. Yeah, okay. So part of this is... They went to get 6 items. And they got 7 items. And the 7th object was a blank which had been blank the Blank. After blank... I mean, this is like... Knocked the shelf down. The blank. I don't know what these blanks are at all. This is like... Is this like the first... case in like either game where like the majority of name blanks are like a single space? I guess in fairness they've started cheating and like using like compound words and like 2-word nouns in the red spaces. It's like maybe it's not as meaningful as it seems like it should be. Brother. Maybe it's because I'm feeling super, like, drained and low energy, but this feels especially daunting. So I'm pretty sure the dead guy's Leo, right? One of the last guys I talked to is like, that's when I found Leo like that. So... Oh, but, like, there's no, like, regular... I don't know why they've started doing this. This is a thing I, like, legitimately don't understand. That, like... Maybe this only started in the DLC, but, like, they've stopped, like, doing a thing where you even, like, identify the characters. It really... You know what this game feels like? It kind of feels like... You know, this thing's been happening, like, increasingly in Hollywood, where, like, they choose someone to, like, adapt, like, a story from some medium that isn't, like, a movie or a TV show into a movie or TV show. But, like, instead of, like, consulting the original creator of that work or getting someone who's familiar with that original work or whatever, they just, like, hire a random person, and then that person, like, seems to, like, take pride in, like, not giving an ounce of care to, like, the source material, and then they just, like, do some random garbage, and then everyone is surprised Pikachu when it sucks and everyone hates it. Like, that... It feels like someone got tapped to do this sequel, and, like, that person, like, didn't care about, like, what the first game did well at all. They were just like, yeah, fill in the blanks. It's Mad Libs. I understand. It's Mad Libs with hideous faces on it. Okay, so... I mean, it feels like this guy's the kennel master. He has a note on, like, feeding the dogs and taking care of the dogs. I don't know if that's a trick. I'm like, I'm so hesitant to trust information the game gives me, you know? It's bizarre. I'm gonna say that dead guy is kennel master. Then I'm gonna say this lady's track owner. I really have no earthly idea who favorite girl is. My guess is Jessie, the dog, because she has a Jessie like gold collar on her person. Oh no, it's not a gold collar. It's a chain in the shape of like a dog collar, which is weird. Which one of you is Jess though? The purple one. That's like digging up a corpse or something, probably. I mean, it's like literally like not even what it looks like, but I think so. Benny the Czar door guard bodyguard. So bodyguard is like the strong silent guy. The door guard is this dude. I should know who Czar is by now, probably, but I don't. No, don't. Just... I was waiting in line to take my bet. Some guy in a big coat shoved past, calling out for Betty. Isn't there, like... something Hildegard Bauer? Like, what's even the point of, like, establishing Hildegard Bauer, you know? Devotion says 100%. I didn't read the source material at all and went on vibes. Which is like a criticism I've been hearing of the new Supergirl movie, which like I wasn't like hugely invested in or anything, but I was like, I don't know, like maybe, you know, if I just want to see a summer movie, like I'll do that. And then I gotta say, I saw like the most recent trailer and like it looked not good. And I was like, oh no. And then like after that, I saw like a bunch of reviews and they're all like this is based on a really popular comic story and like no one knows what happened here. Like it's not good. And then I was like reading that like the person they hired to do it has like no like major writing credits and they let them do this like really expensive movie and I'm like, oh, the nepotism thing's out of hand, man. News today is the latter day Witcher season's bomb. Yeah, like totally. Witcher's like a prime example of that. Or like Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones is a little different, but it's like clearly the same ballpark, yeah. Buyers of hard work always finds time to support her favorite girl. I'm leaving that as the dog for now. I feel like this is the only thing that like taps into the favorite girl nonsense. Okay, hold on. So Benny is like a whole entire dog. Is there something that tells me guy in the big coat? So this is probably the coat. It looks like he's eating. It's not clear. Like, it looks like it belongs to this bloody coat, but it could be something else. Has anyone in this family seen a dog? I mean, really. Emergency release. What's weird is that these items are left behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 of the 7 items were taken, but the rest were left. This is Zira. And like Zira's one of our dogs who's very sick. You probably don't want to get too close to Zira, who's one of our dogs, who's very sick. You probably don't want to get too close. Nicholas says, I'd worry about a dog that isn't both whole and entire. I mean, I don't disagree with you, but like, you've seen what this game is like. Monitor's doing... I don't know what is up with Monitor 2. It's stressing me out. I thought it was that HDMI cable I replaced a while ago, but it's like gradually just been like blipping more over time again, even with the new cable. Donald says, I've seen 5 reviews. All of them didn't like it. It was all in the writing. Apparently the studio mandating it be cut down to 75 minutes of actual movie. Well, what's the runtime? There's got to be more than 75 minutes. It's not even like feature length. So like... Is there anything that like alludes to Zira being... No, I don't think so. See men running away from the office. 2 men. And something else went up to the door a little bit later. This lady had money on the polka dot dog. I feel like they want me to think that's important. I'm not convinced that it is important. Why does this guy have a 3-day cassette tape that's full? That's such a weird detail. The only time I left my post was to chase off a troublemaker while the race was happening. And a break-in on Tuesday night. We're not letting anything slide. Tuesday. A member of the blank gang. Blank the blank. What words are available to me? What are the words? Feels like broke into the office. I think it's Andiers because I think they're working with the Czars. They blank blank, but left a blank to blank the blank's blank. You know, the blank's blank. Benny knocked over the plant. So Benny is the name of a dog, but also Benny is... Well, I guess Benny the dog could have knocked over the plant, huh? The way this is written kind of implies person, but it could be the dog. Gathered up all 7 items. I swear I'm gonna lose my ever-loving mind. Please stop blipping, monitor. I've had it up to here. Nothing seems broken. She has the same key as the Kennel Master, which doesn't seem relevant currently. I'm in here all day and keep it locked when I'm not here. All they did was cause a mess. Do you think that they, like, put an item on the shelf? I guess not. The shelf still has 6 items. So, okay. Of the items, we see, like, a drill, a rectangle, something that looks a little like a fuel can, just for the sake of giving it a name, the shape. Then we got, like, some cables, a triangle, and a film reel. And if we look at the Zira, we have the film canister, the rectangle, the drill, the cables, the film canister, and the triangle base is the microphone. So what's weird is they took all the stuff. Well, I guess one of her guys took the stuff from the shelf, right? They knocked over the plant, which hit the stuff off the shelf. So, I mean, it seems likely this guy was, like, killed for the purpose of retrieving that last item. Whoever was in the blue coat broke into the office. So someone... No, number 17 has become protected. Keep them by my side. Is number 17 Benny? I think it is. Yeah. So... it kind of seems like the dog keeper... Seems like the dog keeper took the items from here in his like dog carrier to the kennel, and then the gang members noticed Benny. I don't know why Benny was like the thing that tipped them on. Like, I don't that they wanted Benny or whatever. But so like that's why like someone says that they heard them calling guy in a big coat shoved past calling out for Benny. So they saw the guy like walking Benny to the kennel, and then they like chased after him. Maybe that guy got enough. So like this dude. Okay, so the people who have eye injuries are this guy, and I think this guy. It's a little hard to tell, but like the detective guy makes note that he's looking worse for wear, and I think this eye is like a little black under it. It's not nearly as pronounced as like on this guy where it's like huge and obvious. Took a hit for that guy. Hope he got what we came here for. So this guy's kind of wearing yellow. Is he a czar? Who was the person who had like notes on the czars? They like work in pairs and we hate them. Like Paddington, Wisconsin. So it doesn't look like the group of dogs over here matches like one specific race. By the way, I didn't notice. Is this just dog turd? Is this just poop over here? Is this what the game has become? Oh my god, the monitor, why? I don't know. It feels like we've missed out on. I feel like Curse of the Golden Idol would take this opportunity to like have you like figure out like which dogs placed what rank in the race, and then you'd have to like use that information as like a cipher to figure something else out. And like here they're just like, I don't know, something happened, blank 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 blank. All right, so this guy's got kind of a bloody lip too, huh? Is this guy injured at all? No. And what? Where's the deal with the czars or whatever? Is it like related to here? Oh my god, close the window. Just those two in the dog screen. This seems odd to me. Feels relevant. Our restoration. Alright, I guess I gotta start brute forcing, because, like, it's really obtuse. Friday at blank. The blank and the blank. We're busy blanking blank blank. Remember if the blank gang blanked the blank while the other tried to blank the blank. Doing two separate things. They were doing two separate blanks. I feel like one of these is like shot the. Oh my god, the monitor is killing me. It's making me so upset. The kennel shot the kennel master. The other tried to collect the blank. The blank to blank. The blank's blank. I mean, the track owners probably, because they're trying to get into her office, right? Oh my god, the monitor's making me crazy. I'm going to lose my ever-loving mind. It's just like going black every like 40 seconds now. They blank. They broke into... They left a blank. No, broke is the wrong tense, huh? They left a... member? Left a note? They left a note? They blanked blank. No, they broke... No, it doesn't work either. Broke into office is not a good sentence. Ready at blank. Blank went to... Is there a steal? It's not conjugated correctly. I'm going to say collect 6 items from the... Where'd office go? Office. After person, Benny knocked the shelf down. The Handmaster left with 7 items. The 7th object was a blank, which had been on, in, under, beside. Is there clear evidence looking at that shelf of what... I mean, the shelf itself doesn't have any indication of, like, something you're in. I don't really know what the thing is. Does anyone in chat know what the thing is? Blank. The blank saw the... It's probably, like... The... Northsider, the Czar, Gambler, the Roy, also the Killmaster dog, because they were commenting that they like shouted about Benny. Went looking for blank. We really haven't established these characters well enough for me to like know what's going on here. When he saw that blank was a blank. He went to the blank. Blank. Blanked over the blank. Over? There's not a lot of things that feel like they're conjugated correctly here. Distracted over, broke into over. Wrote over the 3-day tape that makes you deaf for just 3 days by listening to it nonstop. Over the blank, blank. Around. Yeah, this is tough. I mean, so like I have a natural tendency to like assume the DLC are going to be harder than the main game. And I do also think I'm like not at my maximum capacity after what felt like a really long week. But like it really does just seem like they've given me a bunch of information, but very little of it is like useful. So like it feels like really difficult. I don't know how much of that is me. I'm glad it's not just me. I feel like Devolution is one of the folks in chat more inclined to be like, well, I figured it out 20 minutes ago. There's like a lot of like broad strokes I understand here. But like, for example, right? Like, I understand that like the Endir gang folks are here, right? But like, I don't know either of their names. I don't know what their goal is. At this point, I don't even know what like the item that like they're after is, which seems like really important to understanding like what happened and why. And like maybe I'm just being like insanely stupid, but like it's not obvious to me at all what that item is. There's something about the death that indicates like why the hyena creature is like eating a sleeve. What? When he saw that blank was a blank. Please, I'm begging you. Stop being. I'm also like super like I at some point a fist fight happened. I don't know who was involved or why or like how like no one there ended up like sleeping with the fishes or whatever. Roles at all interest? Is Northsider a gang? I don't think we've established that, have we? So Benny is a dog. Is dog number 17. I feel like I'm inclined to assume it's the one that's like in the cage there. I don't know who Czar is. I gotta find. Wait, what's this about? Something happened at the office as well. I can't read it because the screen is black again. I have a theory. I have to check some details. How did they get past those two guards? So this guy says he only left his post when there was like one dude causing a troublemaker during the race. So like the gang probably hired this dude to like distract them so that they could like get into the office while that was happening. Is my guess. I might just have to start playing off the capture monitor. This is making me insane. It's going off like crazy. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know how to fix it. This monitor isn't that old. And the other one's completely fine. They're like the same age. There's no reason the one should be like blacking out and pissing me off severely. They blanked blank, but left a blank. Left a... Friday. The blank and the blank were busy. Blanking, blank, blank. Remember. Now, distracted is a word, right? Distracted the... What are we calling that guy? The door guard? And the other tried to... I mean, it should be like break into the office, shouldn't it? Shouldn't the sentence be like one member of the gang distracted the door guard while the other... Oh wait, this implies that they're a direct team, but it feels like I don't understand. It feels like the implication here is that like the guy in the yellow vest thing started a physical altercation with like the guards at the track as a distraction for like the other guys to get in. But like the yellow jacket guys, I think are Czars, even though there's only one of them. Just like, I mean, they allegedly work in pairs, which is like probably some part of this I'm not understanding. But like, I guess that's the thing, right? They work in pairs, so maybe it is the Czar gang. But who's the other yellow vesty guy? I don't think it's the Kennel Master. That doesn't make very much sense. with Leo before it happened. He told me to make the call that Zero was ready for pickup. Leo before it happened. That's how I found Leo like that. Definitely feel like Leo is the dead guy, but why are the gang members talking about Leo or working with Leo? No, this does make sense, right? Because her planner suggests it was BRW. I have no idea who that is. Sure, Evan Maps. Meet with the restaurant staff, RE stock replenishment, and new security measures. It's on Thursday. So, like, she is part of the Andier gang. So it has to be the Czars that are messing stuff up. Sort of getting lost in the weeds for a bit there, but that does make sense. The blank. I don't understand this, there's an annoying thing going on here where, like, the game has given, like, nicknames and, like, aliases to characters that we've never met before. And, like, instead of taking a step for us to, like, figure out what those names are and then, like, figure out how the names fit into the story, they're just like, yeah, the Northsider. Or whatever. At least that seems to be the implication. Is it possible that Leo is something else? Is Leo dog? Doesn't seem likely. Particularly if these guys are acting like Ziva or whatever is their dog. I don't know what that dog is digging up. Okay. I have to figure out where the Tsar thing is mentioned. It's, like, really important. It's not this. For some reason, I think it's, like, somewhere on the screen. And I must be wrong, because I keep coming back here, and it's not here. Big coat ship pass calling for Benny. Now towards the wood gates, right? You not... It's not this. Where are written instructions, if not these locations? I feel like it's... I really feel like there was, like, a trash can or something around here that had, like, a note that I, like, can't find now. No, it's on this guy. This guy! He has it. Got a shipment of 6 items. Going out to the new asset today. The usual method should work. Let him in for pickup at 3:45. I'll be out grabbing a seat. The blonde comes whining again. Tell him to suck it up and keep working with the Tsar. If he can't defend himself against a one-handed man, that's his own problem. The Tsars are a useful part of the organization. Okay. So the Tsar is the one-handed man, so I clearly misunderstood something. Which is fine. But that means he's the Tsar, and the blonde guy is the Northsider. 2 or fewer are incorrect. I don't know. Doorguard and bodyguard seem cool and normal, respectively. It seems unlikely that one of the other dogs is Benny. It is arguably possible that favorite girl is someone other than the dog that she has, like, a matching name tag for. It doesn't seem super likely, I must admit. The owner has a Jess tag. We're talking about the owner's favorite girl. It seems so likely to be Jess. Nico says, I've eaten all the pistachio ice cream. Contemplating caramel ice cream I saw in the freezer. You best not expect me to be a good influence about that. If you're bringing that up in my presence, I feel like you should know. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna try something stupid that like would be annoying. Hear me out. Okay. Well, that. I think all that tells me is that favorite girl is definitely wrong, and I don't know anything else. Wait, what's the pick it up at 3:45. I guess that's this blank. Friday at 3:45 the pickup was supposed to happen. The new asset, I guess, right? That's what the note says? Yeah, guess we'll just put that as new asset. The seventh object. What on earth is the seventh object? Which had been blank the blank. Seventh object. I feel like it implies that something in this environment should be able to clue me into what that object is, and I can't stress enough how like not clear it is. 1 month to the Discord meetup. That is exciting. What kinds of plans you got locked in at this point? The blank object. You think it's the golden idol? Sir not appearing in any scene that Neko's ever looked at, I guess? Red blank. Hang on. I gotta be able to figure out this time, right? This guy says, I was waiting in line to place my bet. His bet is for Godsend. Godsend. So, Godsend is in the 450 race. Guess we're saying that's at around 450. All the other times are not very close to that. I don't think you need to place your bet like 40 minutes in advance. Although I'm obviously not well versed in horse, dog, hyena race etiquette. Some guy. Does this guy have a title? This man? Oh, we're calling him Gambler. Sure, the Gambler. No. No, that's not what we're talking about. And he saw him. Coat one of these words? Jacket coat? Kennels, drill, microphone, tools, office door, money, kiosk member, full, nothing. Sick, note, plant, shelf, desk, meetings, tape recorder, dog, something. It really makes me mad that they keep putting the word something here. Because you really could argue, like, the seventh object was a something, right? Like, I feel like we should be insanely careful about putting a word like something in the Mad Libs, because, like, technically it means that you could just fill every space with something and be correct. Under, beside, beside. location feels like maybe it's under the shelf. I don't know. It's really hard to figure this out. I saw that blank. I mean, I feel. Vocabulary check. No, none of that names what we're calling the carrier, which seemed like it would be useful information. On Friday at 3:45, the new asset went to collect 6 items from the office. Benny knocked the shelf down. The kennel master left with 7 items. The 7th object was a blank, which had been... I mean, the last word is shelf, presumably. Because these, like, gray spaces are on, in, not in. So either on, under, or beside. Probably wasn't on either. I'm going to say it's under the shelf. I don't know what was under the shelf, but that seems there. It's a tape recorder. Is it possible it's the tape recorder? It's like the pair of weird... I gotta find whatever thing references the pair of weirdos. It's like a Geiger counter or something. But like this guy, is he part of the scheme? I don't... Someone in a big coat entered the kennels. Why would this guy know that? That is suspicious. I don't know anything about this, but I can tell you that a guy went in there when I wasn't around. Alright, let's run with this theory. I have no idea what the implication of it is, but I'm going to say that the 7th object is a tape recorder that was under the shelf. Everything about that sentence is weird, but why not? At around 4:50, the... Vet? No. Bodyguard, Kennelmaster, track on our north side. Godsend is a dog. Maggie is a dog. Benny is a dog. Gambler. The gambler. Hold on a second. Okay. We're setting all other things aside, and I'm going to figure out what thing referenced like 2 people wearing yellow outfits. It's essential, and I'm too stupid to live. It's like a note or something, yeah? Like a note? Some kind of note? Some sort of written thing on a paper? Like a note? BRW Board RE Heritage Project. Ensure absent. She doesn't have a note on her person. She doesn't care how they got in. I've looked at this shelf like 1,000 times. The door's busted. The wood is not. Restoration works. Just go to... I know, I remember... Wait a minute. Oh, it's on his hand. That's why. That's stupid. Wait, keep Andiers out. Yellow jackets work in pairs, stupid jerks. But that's wrong, isn't it? Gang, isn't that incorrect? Isn't the game just gaslighting me? Isn't the Andiers gang them? Isn't it their own people with the orange jackets and the skinny ties? Aren't they the Andiers gang? Isn't that like the one important established fact from the previous DLC case? It does. I do think that some guy in a big coat shop pass calling out for Benny. So the big coat has the lockpicks. I don't know who was using them. I think we're saying that this guy is a fake Andier along with this guy. I think Yellow Vest and like Bill Murray are criminal cahoots. But if that's true, then, like, I don't know what the tape recorder is doing. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, this seems like, even by the second game standard, this feels really hard. Like, you're not gaslighting me, chat. Like, this doesn't make more sense to you than it does to me, right? Like, this feels like I dove in, like, the deep end. Like, the last one wasn't, like, super crazy hard. There were a couple, like, sketchy details. But, like, this one, like, there's, like, way too many, like, competing factions with, like, no clearly stated goals. Like, this is, like, another thing that I feel like the first game did really well. Is, like, if there were, like, a bunch of people trying to accomplish different stuff, I feel like they did a masterful job of, like, not necessarily making it clear, like, who was in every group or exactly what the plan was, but you'd be like, these two are working together and this is happening and this and that. Here, I don't know, it's just like a bunch of people and they all just hate everyone, like the lady at the store when I bought them shorts. They know only hate. On Friday, do I know what time the Friday thing happened? No, not the, yeah, no, the Friday is all the crime. I'm thinking Tuesday. I have no Tuesday times, but it's not asking for a Tuesday time. It's asking for a different Friday time. Friday, the blank and the blank were busy blank, blank, blank. One member of the Andy. Okay. All right, hold, okay. Hold, please. Listen, I swear to God, I swan to John that the Andier gang are the orange jacket losers. I'm gonna, for the sake of getting this done, I'm gonna just assume that this gaslighting video game is being forthright within the confines of this particular thing we're doing right now. And that, like, the yellow jacket guys are the Andiers, because there's two of them and it fits the note on that guy. Whenever the Andier gang distracted, the other tried to. So the guy who's outside and beat up the Pinocchio guy, he distracted the door guard. Did the other guy do the murder? So one of the, like, orange jacket guys is beat up too, right? They blank, blank. Left a blank to blank. Broken detail. There's like basically no information about what happened on Tuesday. We just know that, like, a attempted break-in happened, and, like, that's, like, basically it. They left a blank. They left a blank to blank. I don't know. I'm still working for now, Demolition, but let me ask you this. Based on whatever you're looking at, does everything, like, make objective sense, or does it make woobly garbage sense? Try to blank the blank. God, it's so annoying that I just have no idea what the goal of anyone is. Objective sense. Okay, that's at least reassuring. Operating on one false. I don't even, like, after, like, 5 iterations, I still don't feel like I know the factions. So, like, that's not surprising to me. I don't know how to figure it out, because they've given me, like, so little information that's actually useful. But they've given me, like, quite a lot of information. And it also could have something to do with Benny, who I'm pretty sure is a dog, but, like, might also be a person. It might be one of those things like Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda, where Andromeda is the ship, but Andromeda is also a hologram, and Andromeda is, like, a third thing. like there's something weird about the dog. This dog, the Jess dog in particular. Also, this lady, I don't know why she told me what dog she was betting on. Do I care about that? I didn't see anything at the kennels. I saw two men running away from the office. And then someone else went up to the door a little bit later. I mean, that seems consistent with my broad understanding of, like, guy in yellow vest started fight, and the other one tried to get mystery object. Her description. I was distracted by the sound of the race starting. And that lovely polka-dotted dog. Okay, hold on. Is that the missing time piece? The polka-dotted dog, is that T-Wizzle? It is. It's T-Wizzle. So that tells me... $4.10. Go to $13.30. $4.10. These times seem roughly correct, but they're like profoundly unhelpful. Like this is a great example, right? Of like the difference between the two games. Is that like if there was a similar puzzle that was done in the style of like Case of the Golden Idol, like figuring out the times would be like paramount to you having an understanding of like the events, which would in turn let you like somewhat easily fill out the rest of the scroll or whatever this game is calling them. But like in this game, they're just like, how about we add a yellow one? That is a time. And I don't really care what happens. Like, yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure I've placed these times correctly. It hasn't done anything to help me understand anything. And it like wasn't a particularly interesting process to work that out. You know, like it in and of itself wasn't rewarding. And it wasn't rewarding in the sense that it like helped me solve the bigger issue. Say blank, blank, but left a blank to the blank. Blank, 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 the blank. Bliggity blank. They left a... They left a blank. This is a little weird. I don't know if I understand what this even would imply, but like... This is kind of like a deadbolt that's tied to the key, right? But then you've got like the doorknob, but they have like two small individual... like tiny discs as opposed to like a normal like I don't even know what you call that thing that juts out of the door. Like I don't know if that's like relevant or just like a cultural thing, like doors are made different in whatever country made this game. But it looks weird. Is it Britain? I thought the credits had like a bunch of like unfamiliar names that seemed like they were like, I don't know, like Swedish or Polish or something. They had like accents that I'm not used to seeing in like languages I have more familiarity with. All day and keep it locked up when I'm not. All my meetings in here. All the meetings in here. Is that relevant? Not really, because we're talking about Tuesday and Friday, and our planner only mentions Wednesday and Thursday. Nico has responded to, was I called? Just in response to Devilish asking Britain. I don't think this game is British. Nico says, doing some late night cooking while the temperature is bearable. What are you late night cooking? And why is it the stew that blinds you for just one day? Oh, this sucks. I'm just gonna do this for like 3 hours and then sob, aren't I? That's my whole life. That's what I'm doing. So what's the deal? There's a whole emergency release buttons, like a whole... It's got its own whole screen. It's got a bunch of like scratches on it. It's really hard for me to know if that's relevant though. I really don't know what the deal is with this. So like, no, wait a minute. This dog This is maybe not Benny for the reason that Benny stays close to the kennel master. And it seems like this dog... So the emergency release was hit, and all the doors are open, except that, well, I don't know. Maybe someone hit the emergency release to open a cage so that they could put the dog in. I don't know. Latvia. Okay. Latvia makes sense. Does Latvia have weird doors? Jarvis, does Latvia have weird doors? Bloody... So this guy got in a fight before he died, huh? Aaron for HB. So he's part of the fight. Wait a minute. I mean, it's not a yellow jacket. Is it possible that this guy was the other part of the duo? I don't understand what the fist fight was, and it makes me actually, like, kind of furious that, like, it's not part of, like, either of the scrolls I'm trying to figure out. No, I actually do really like that, I forget the... Is it the developer studio? One of the logos on Login is just, like, gray, like, hashtag 646464. There's something I like about that. Just like a nice, clean, weird branding choice. Making a chicken and cabbage stir fry with bean sprouts. Marinated chicken this morning and made chicken stock with the carcass. Oh, that's super fancy. I feel like you could easily parlay that into a stew. Just saying. Got yourself a stew going. So the gun is still here, which is a little odd, maybe. You can try to hide the gun. Was the gun used to kill him? Or did... Well, he's the only one who's shot at all, right? I was with Leo before it happened. He told me to make the call that Zero was ready for pickup. Got here after the race is finished. I saw that the dogs had gotten out. That's when I found Leo like that. Yeah, I don't really get what the fight is about. So all these dogs are outside because the emergency release got hit. So it's definitely possible that one of these other dogs could be Benny, if Benny is a dog and not a hologram or the ship. God, this sucks. It's truly remarkable how much less fun this game is than the first one. I'm so desperate to, like, complete this game so that I can just, like, learn every possible fact about it and just, like, do a deep spite dive. So again, it's unclear from the information available if this represents two different attempted methods of break-in. Oh, this sucks. Like in the first game, I feel like I would know what I know and know what I don't know, but also know where I would go to learn what I don't know. In this game, I'm just like staring at words and trying to brute force stuff. Uh, 450 when the race started. The guy who I think is the North Sider saw the Kennel Master's dog. No, saw the Kennel Master. What did he see? He saw the dogs outside, but it doesn't seem like that's what we're asking. When he saw that Leo was a corpse. No, when he saw that someone was blank. And that blank, for some reason, can be red, or I guess we're calling that, like, gold or something? When he saw that blank was a... I have no idea what word even goes there. Even just by, like, Mad Lib standards. Like, what? I have no idea. Music is really soothing. It's a good... It feels like it taps into... It's like an interesting take on like kind of a noir backing track is kind of the vibe it gives me. It's like a cozy kind of noir. The blank and the blank. The right side and the sorrow busy. Blank. I don't remember. Other tried to. God, I wish I was like close enough to understanding either one of these that I could at least fill them in and get a sense of whether I was like close to right. But I'm far enough off of both of them that I can't get to a point where I can at least determine that I'm like more than two wrong or something. Blank and the blank were busy. Blank. We're busy. Fighting? Could be fighting. There's like 5 people that I know have like injuries from like a direct physical altercation. This guy's got a bloody lip. This guy and this guy have black eyes. I'm actually wrong. This guy is fine, right? So it's 4 guys, because this guy also has a bloody lip. He got shot eventually, but it seems like he was in a fight. But like I don't know what I don't know. I'm confused as to like when and why and how that happened. They left a blank to blank. 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 It's not this. It's not this. It's not like a note. It's like the thing I'm looking for is like, did they leave a note? That's why you always leave a note, because otherwise your kennel master gets like shot to death. The motion says, looks like Netflix is requiring unique email and ID per profile per account and 2-factor authentication. I'd heard that first part. I hadn't heard about 2-factor authentication. Boy, what garbage software, man. Like, everyone's like so desperate to make everything unusable. Like, I just don't understand. It's funny. I read some like actually like staggering statistic on like the rise in people buying physical media again. I forget what it was, like some insane, like it was like since like 2020 or 2021 there's like a multiple like 1,000% increase in like physical like disc sales, which like makes sense. It's just like that's crazy. Like that's just such an incredible shift that demonstrates how like horrendous streaming services are. You are one of those. I've I've like made a few select purchases of like specific things because I don't trust certain services to keep them around. Like in particular Netflix, you know, like they like phased out a certain subset of like interactive like movies they had done. And one of those was the finale to a show I really like, The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. And so like when that happened, I was like, it turns out you can actually buy like the complete series of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I'm gonna do that just in case they decide like we just don't want to keep it at all anymore. It says, still not sure what browser I'll jump onto once Google forces their new AI on us. But they want to replace their 10 blue links model with just an AI chatbot. Oh, God, that's horrible. Ugh. It's just so bad, man. So bad. Oh, brother. Tuesday, remember the annual broke 8. How do they describe it? Yeah, they call it a break-in, so I don't have to worry about it being like, it's a sort of break-in or like an attempted break-in. So I think this, I don't know about Andir, but it seems like Andir gang is maybe the only applicable gang. I'm slightly unclear. I don't know. The Andir gang broke into the office. They blanked blank. This is making me insane, but left a blank to blank. I'm not sure even if track owner's office is correct, but like the thing that they're saying had the break-in was the track owner's office. So like I think that's what we're talking about. They broke into. They wrote something. They stole something but left a blank to blank. They stole nothing. Well, wait, maybe it is they stole nothing. God, I really hate that they keep doing that. That they keep using nothing and something in these puzzles. It's really bad. Nothing is missing just like last time. Gosh bless America. I believe in Gosh and his son Jeepers. So they stole nothing, which sucks and makes me furious. Don't worry about it. They stole nothing, but left a blank to blank. They left a is mess one of the words? She says something like that. Shelf desk. Meetings. Nope. Hey, continue. Welcome to the stream. I've accomplished absolutely nothing. This has been dreadful. This is like an insanely difficult puzzle. That's like taking all of my energy to focus on it. And I'm sorry if I'm not making a good. Like, hit me up in chat if you want to talk about something. I'm desperately trying to like make progress here, and I'm much too stupid for this. So it takes a truly insidious thief to steal nothing. Dude, I can't help you. I don't understand what's going on in this case at all. I'm way too stupid. I'm way too dumb. Also, I'm apparently like a swamp monster, but I'm not going to recount that story. But they left a blank to blank the track on it all. I mean, it's been days. They left a blank? They left a meeting. They left A. Oh! They left a tape recorder to record the track owner's meetings. Because she conducts all her meetings in the office. And that tape recorder is the 7th object that got left somewhere, man. The blank and the blank were... This is going to drive me nuts too, though. Like, this feels correct. Finally. On Friday at 4:10, the blank and the blank were busy fighting... Yeah, collect the tape recorder. Yeah, because it's their tape recorder. Even though I swear to God they're not the Aindeer gang, but whatever. But whatever. Continuing, how was your evening? Did you find any pads? Busy fighting some other guy. So no, the accomplice is the dude who has the tape recorder. Even though he didn't get in the fight and isn't wearing yellow. It's the only thing that maybe makes sense, probably. Quite possibly. I'm gonna say the... door guard and the... Czar... No, not the Czar. The other guy. The North Sider, maybe? Because the ones who are injured are... the vest guy, who isn't going to be part of this sentence. The door guard, who is definitely part of this sentence. The guy who isn't the Czar, who lost his downstairs hand. And the Kennel Master. Is it possible that the Kennel Master was fighting here, though? And if that's true, why is the other guy even injured if that's true? Came close to TPK? Wow, you don't hear that every day. Was it a big boss or like some like random encounter that just like caught you off guard or something? Oh, hang on, Nicholas says the workmen installed new fans in the kitchen and bathroom this week. Is this a full renovation? I thought it was just like a roof project. But I guess you said there's like a bunch of scaffolding too, huh? I got that helped. Oh, just being level 1. Yeah, those are hashtag level 1 problems. That's for sure. No, wait a minute. No, not the door guard. The North Sider and the Kennel Master were busy fighting... someone. They were fighting someone. I'm close. I'm really close to being close. We're busy fight. What's this? What is this blue one? They're busy fighting blank blank. Blank. They're busy. What's the deal with this fight? So this coat got bloody before the shot happened, right? Because he got shot here not wearing the coat. But the problem is it's not probably his coat. This coat was most likely left by this guy. So I mean, we're saying this guy's the North Sider, huh? That's a terrible nickname. It feels very lazy. I think I would prefer like just the traditional like figure out the guy's name. It's possible that they were busy watching someone do the thing. I'm not sure what the thing is in that context though. I did consider that. Like watching blank dogs is not a red word, so it can't be like that they were watching the dog race, right? They were watching blank shot, blank collect, blank wrote. Just none of those seem right, you know? Okay, so is this guy beat up at all? It doesn't look like it. Although the tape recorder has blood on it. Does God send the name of a dog? It is! It is! We're at the dog track. And like a bunch of weird names are dogs. And some human names also. Watching dogs. I mean... .410. The four dogs racing are Arlek, T-Wizzle, Paddington, and Jess. Hey, wait. Okay, favorite girl is the dog. I'm inclined to say that in particular isn't it, because I don't think any of those four dogs at that time is important enough to any of the characters who were potentially involved in that action that it would make sense to highlight that in the scroll. Night Keen, thank you for stopping by. Oh, by the way, did you end up watching Ready or Not 2 at this point? I'm so curious to know what you think of it, because I don't know anyone else who's seen it. I really liked it. But not yet. Oh, okay, you gotta tell me when you see it, okay? You enjoy the rest of your night. New Wells dog track. Is this like the hardest case in the world? Or am I the dumbest man on the earth? It doesn't seem like... I guess maybe they taped the tape recorder under the shelf? Is it possible? Could be. I feel like there's supposed to be a nickname for the guy who's not the czar in orange. It makes me annoyed that that's not apparently the case. Unless this guy's Benny. Is it possible that this guy is Benny? But then, like, if he is Benny, why is Benny also number 17? In reserve with the Kennel Master. Are those both just like a full-on alias? I mean, you might call this guy Blue if his hair was blue and not green. That doesn't seem helpful. In reserve with Kennel Master. Blue 27. I'm still not sure why this dog is chewing a sleeve. So it seems like somehow or other Northsider like confronted this guy is Leo. Yeah, we've confirmed he is Leo. No, we've confirmed he's Kennel Master, but I'm pretty sure Kennel Master is Leo. I'm pretty sure that Northsider confronted Kennel Master after some nonsense went down. Kennel Master hit the alarm to let the dogs out. So now we know who let the dogs out. We have confirmation that it was Leo. Leo let the dogs out, so you can pin the blame on him, but he has also perished. So there's really not much you can do about that. To, like, hold him accountable at this point, I mean. So then, for some reason, I guess maybe, like, the guy in the coat, like, bent down to the, like, carrying case to get the tape recorder out of it, and then the dog, like, bit him or something, and somehow he, like, got the dog in a cage and shoved the broom in it so the dog would stop bothering him. A mystery of the 2000s finally solved. Anyone have any idea how many of the mysteries from the 2000s remain? Is the name Zero relevant as anything other than a code name for, like, these? I bet these 6 items are important to, like, one of the other cases in a way that will, like, make me super upset. It's like literally the entire stream just gonna be this, and I'm like not even gonna finish it. I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh, I'm so depressed. Please stop. Sorry. No, it shouldn't be Northsider here though, right? Busy. There's no, like, walking. It's not like they were walking one of the dogs or something. Was a dog. He went to the cat. A blank over the blank. The blank, blank, the blank, blanked. Well, distracted over the tape recorder. The Northsider shot the Kennel Master? Northsider. I'm a little confused about movie time, Zacula. What movie are you watching? And is it good luck, have fun, don't die? And either way, good luck, have fun, don't die. Who let the dogs out again? Began with an L. We just talked about this. I don't need to tell you again, right? Obviously it was
a new supervillain in town called the Banker.
Yeah. Someone defaulted on a loan. And then he let the dogs out as a distraction so he could get away. So the Kennel Masters, not the coat. The Northsider was wearing the coat. I don't even know if Zacula's still here. The sequel to Becky called The Wrath of Becky. That's crazy, Zacula. They already got a sequel to this movie I ain't never heard of? The Northsider saw... What exactly did he see? It feels like it's the dog. Should be pertaining to this guy, right? Waiting in line to make my bet some guy in a big coat shoved past, calling out for Benny. So the guy in the big coat is the North Sider. He found his way to the kennels, shot the guy, got the tape recorder, and left. He searched around for a moment, then ran off towards the wooden gates. He's calling out for Benny. So the guy in the coat found the note that the kennel master left behind, which apologizes for the mess and mentions Benny. And it is written, like I said, in a way that kind of sounds like a person. So this guy doesn't know what's up. He breaks into the office, finds that the tape recorder is missing, finds the note, figures out that the tape recorder left with the guy. Then he goes outside and shouts for Benny because he's trying to find the person who knocked the thing over. So he didn't see the dog, he saw the note. And went looking not for Leo, but for Benny. And then when he saw Benny was a dog, he went to the kennels. Distracted over the... Possible that's dog or something. But how are there still more than like 2 other things? I mean, it seems reasonably clear to me that Northsider shot Kennelmaster, so those should all be correct. I think distracted is correct? Or maybe watching. Maybe watching over the dog? Is that possible? For HB, just getting the thing. There's no real evidence, like what exactly he was doing with the dog before this went down. I feel like I'm closer than like 3 off though. Right at 3:45. Now the reason this is 3:45 is because the note at 13:30. Let him in for pickup at 3:45. So the kennel master did the pickup. So I think that's 3:45. Oh, but it's not. Well, hang on. Shipment going out to the new asset. So it's not the new asset who's come to pick it up themselves. It's the kennel master. Anyone sick of kennel master being slotted into every word here? You want to collect 6 items from the office. That seems correct. It's supposed to be 6 items. But then Benny knocked the shelf down. And then the kennel master left with 7 items. The 7th object was a tape recorder, which had been... It's not on the shelf because there's no matching dust pattern. Is it supposed to be beside? I don't feel like there's clear evidence of that. But for the sake of thoroughness, my best guess is under. It's not in the shelf because that's not how shelf works. And it's not on the shelf because it wasn't on the shelf. It just wasn't. Because it's like microphone, film canister, cables, weird Geiger counter, like ammo box or whatever that was, and like drill. So like there's no space for it here. The thing that's knocked over is the chair. Yeah, I think it's under. You knock the shelf down. The kennel master left with 7 items. The 7th object was a tape recorder. Yeah. Around 450. Well, okay, let me try this. So, like, this guy says he was waiting in line to make his bet for the race at 450 because he bet on Godsend. I think it's canon that you make like dog race bets like pretty close to the race time. So I think that's why we're saying around 450 as opposed to like the only like next option before that is like 410, which clearly isn't it. Not exactly sure what was going on at 410, but it involved some other folks. Now wait a minute. No, that should be right. It should be like pretty close to the latest possible time frame that everything went down with the Northsider. Northsider saw the Kennel Master's note and went looking for Benny, who was in the note. When he saw that Benny was a dog, he went to the kennels. Well, I mean, I can... I'm watching... Well... So since it sounds like the Northsider basically got the jump on the Kennel Master, I don't think they got in a fight, and so I do think that the Kennel Master was probably in the fight at 410. What I don't fully grasp is like exactly what the Kennel Master was doing when he got shot. Is there something that helps to make that clear, really? I mean, signs of the damage he had received. 2 to 3 feed the dogs from 3 p.m. onward. Prep race, then run errand for HP. Presumably the errand is like getting the stuff for the drop-off or something. So I don't really have a sense of like what that last bit of the sentence is. While talking over the something. Oh wait, we're fighting over the tape recorder? Okay. That's correct. So now we're down to 2. Maybe 1, but 2 probably. Just for the sake of it. Okay, we're down to 2. We're down to 2 and under is correct. 3:45 p.m. The Kennel Master went to collect 6 items from the... I mean, you could say shelf, which would be spitefully pedantic, but I sure don't put that past the game. No, we like office. Okay, office is correct. The Kennel Master left with 7 items, and the 7th one was the tape recorder, which would be under the shelf. That all seems correct. I could try bumping this to like 410. Ooh. What does that tell me? Either that's correct, 450 was wrong, because I had exactly 2 wrong before, or both of those are wrong, which really doesn't seem feasible, because then we'd be talking about this happening like way before any other events. Plant instead of shove. You know what? That's interesting. I mean, technically, I think the note says knock the plant, which caused the shelf to be knocked over. Like, it's super needlessly pedantic. But you're right. It could be plant. For sure. What if I change that back to 450? Well, that doesn't help. It's unclear to me if that's correct or not. But that could very well be correct. Wait a minute. Hold on. What about... Oh, what does that tell me? Okay. That tells me that 410 is correct, which I don't like that at all. I find that very annoying. I really feel like all they have to do for that not to annoy me is to add a single time anywhere between 410 and 450. It's insanely annoying to me that they've chosen to do that. Okay. So that means that... No, I think that means... I think shelf is correct then. Because I had 2 wrong before. I think it's shelf. There's one other thing we have to correct here, and then we can toggle between shelf and plant. But I don't know what the last thing is. Or wait. The tape recorder was under the plant. Okay, that's why the dog went for the plant and knocked it over. It's because it found the weird tape recorder that wasn't supposed to be there. On Friday, at 4:50. Tuesday, a member of the Andier gang broke into the office. They stole nothing, but left a tape recorder to record the track owners' meetings. That should all be correct. On Friday at 4:50, the blank were busy blank. One member of the Andier gang distracted the door guard while the other tried to collect a tape recorder. No, that has to be before 4:50. Busy. Still think he's watching someone race. I'm starting to think you're right, but again, I think it's for like reasons that are like they're just trying to make this more difficult and not for like there is nothing about any of the information given to us that gives any sense of importance to any particular dog racing. So like this could arguably be like any one of 4 different blanks, which like on the one hand like I guess is fine, but on the other hand like just makes it like insanely like it's just not important at all. Like if it fits into this scroll or whatever, it's purely out of hatred for the player because like it has no bearing on the events of anything other than placing the time. And there's like smart people ways that you could have the player figure that out. It can't be 3 p.m. It would like also have to be 4:10, which is like stupid. Like I thought it was 4:10 before. The blank and the blank. Who would that be though? The gambler? No, the gambler's nothing. Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, no! No. I think you're right. Hold on. What was the note? What was the note? Yeah, Jess is in the 4:10 race. God, that's so dumb. That's so idiot. The track owner and the bodyguard. We're busy watching Jess. What am I looking for? Race. Oh, I hate that. This sucks. This case sucks. So stupid. Dumb as heck. You solved the scenario. To get dirt on the Bowers, two members of the rival Andir gang planted a recording device in Hildegard's office. When they returned to collect it 3 days later, it had been mistakenly moved to the kennels as part of a secret delivery. During the struggle to take back the recording device, one of the Andir shot Leo, the kennel master. God, I hated like every minute of that. What a dumb, idiot case for psychopaths. Ms. Bauer, this project continues to show promise. Our new friend's offer of power seems to have been more than just an attempt to save his own life. And to think, if he hadn't hit your restaurant, the Andirs may have been the ones who found him. Communication has been somewhat tricky, although he doesn't look it, he's speaking Lemurian, but it sounds like some ancient version of what I speak. Luckily, his Albionian is improving every day, so we can often meet in the middle. I know we haven't been able to get Zira moved out yet, but we're ready to continue phase 2 of testing the Disarranger as soon as you are. Signed, Poutine. Mr. Poutine, your update is appreciated. The Andirs may not have gotten their hands on him, but what they did get from us endangers our whole operation. If our naive benefactor learns what we've been doing, things will sour very quickly. I'll bring the supplies myself. Keep an ear to the ground. If we see any signs that she knows, phase 2 testing will need to be done on an accelerated schedule. God bless America. I just really hate the storytelling in this game. I really think it sucks. Alright, maybe I can get one more in. I really doubt it, though. The Raid, a story in 4 parts. That sounds bad. That sounds bad and long. Hello, Bueller? Crash? Crash number 2? Okay. There's actually not a lot of spots here. Maybe it's several short cases. There's a folder. Exclamation mark. Oh god. Function checking. No give or take. Now I call Disarranger. Fair translation, I think. And that is like give and take crossed out. Heat symbol. Small effect. Heat change evens out. Matter symbol. Known effect. Matter warps, pulls, extrudes. Memory symbol. See phase 2 test outcomes. Little woman says test faster. Matter symbol plus like sound wave. Vibration of crystal cannot extend. Destroys amplifying device. Memory plus wave symbol. Vibration can be sent. Pump effect straight to ears. Good report for the little woman. Memory tab. Phase 2 test outcome. Low. Little scramble. Mind mostly same. Mix up events. Same way every time. Pattern A. Medium. More scramble. Things change. People, things look different. Pictures wrong. Like Mind Force normal story. Even if pictures no mash good. Events mixed same way each time. Pattern B. High. Big scramble. Strange pictures. Even actions abstract. Mind no care for real story now. Just follow pictures at sea. Pictures match good but very strange. Events mixed in same way every time. Pattern C. This stay forever. Okay, so detectives. Let's take stock. What do we know? It's a strange one, Roy. We've had eyes on this place all morning. Our guys confirmed that the boss lady and her gangsters were still on the top floor as we pulled up. We secured the front door and all the stairs, so they must still be in here somewhere. Paper on the ground. Moira will spill. As rumors fly, Mayor Meredith announces press conference. Okay, here's a guy in flannel. I can't talk to the cops, man. They'll kill me. Just give me anything. Okay, at some point, that guy went berserk and ripped off his shirt, and it seemed like the boss saw something that panicked her. No, brother. I'll close everything. Subject A testing form. What did you think of the cartoon? Hilarious! Describe the cartoon's 4 stages. A jellyfish saw a dolphin and got scared. It turned out the wall was a giant whale. The dolphin escaped and a submarine hit a wall. A vampire and his minion chased the dolphin in the submarine. Okay, hold on. I feel like this started at not the beginning. So jellyfish sees a dolphin. Dolphin gets chased. Submarine hits a whale. The whale chases him. That seems to be the intended story. And then the dolphin just, like, mugs for the camera. Jellyfish saw a dolphin and got scared. That's, like, more or less correct. It's an incorrect interpretation, but it's about right. Turned out the wall was a giant whale. That's obviously, like, the end. Dolphin escaped. So, hold on. This was correct. Okay. Okay. Let me look at this. Is it the same? Seems to be the same. I don't know why it starts at not the beginning. Not sure you'd say it was hilarious. What? Don't you get it? The wall was a whale, and for some reason a vampire. Also a jellyfish was present. Am I doing this correctly? Subject be testing form. What do you think of the cartoon? Tragic and profound. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you had the response that it was tragic and profound. Does that seem more up your alley? Describe the cartoon's 4 stages. A man and his wife followed an ambulance in their car. A girder was shown to be attached to a bridge. The ambulance sped away and the car crashed into the girder. A cat ran from the ambulance. Okay, hold on. An ambulance in their car. The ambulance sped away and the car crashed into the girder. The girder was attached to a bridge. A cat ran from the ambulance. Okay. And your account of events? It all started when the ringmaster ordered the lions out of the tent. And they jumped through the hoop. That's all you're getting from me. I already said too much. He's got pink eye, by the way. He's got pink eye. No, that's not it either. Okay, so hold on. Maybe your impression was that the cartoon was a divine revelation. Hear me out? Describe the 4 stages. A teardrop evaporated. So the 2-headed fig tig found the world's edge. I think we can all agree that that happened. An orchid with tender stalks sailed over the teardrop as it drifted by. Beyond the world's edge laid a vast snowy mountain. The fig tig applauded as it searched for the teardrop. Uh-huh. The teardrop evaporated. The fig tig found the world's edge. Teardrop evaporated. The teardrop is the dolphin? Orchid with tender stalks sailed over the teardrop. Yeah. Teardrop is the dolphin. Okay. So divine revelation. Is that the correct takeaway, do you think? So your account of events? First, the angels dance on the robot's finger. and the second twin swallowed them whole. Then I liberated myself in mixed company, and Trip Top admired the silver string of my bow. Next, the angels were destined to pass into the second twin's bowels. That sounds horrid. And to be rescued from them by an armored horse. Finally, Trip Top gained the angels their freedom, and the angels melted into the pages of an open book. Any questions? Hold on, this man appears to be wearing a wire, except he's like also not wearing a shirt. Oh, also, for God's sake. I mean, look at, like, listen. Like, look at this man. I mean, like, I don't know if he's supposed to be to scale to this other guy, but, like, just everything going on with his whole head and face is just, like, no bueno, man. The French aren't gonna like this. You hate to see the car hit a girder attached to a bridge, you know? What am I missing? What spots am I missing? I guess outside? Game crash? No? Man, these loading times are awful. Okay, there's a Thopter and like another one of those gang cars, and like they're booking it past their own security gate. This is plans for the building, I think. Not entirely sure. It's a really weird concept to like work out witness testimony from people who are like kind of saying sheer nonsense. Blank, blank, blank. Blank, blank, blank. We've done it. We've done it. Gang, everyone, we've achieved the impossible. This calls for a fanfare. There are literally no words in this Mad Lib. There's not even context in this Mad Lib. I think I have some idea of what this Mad Lib indicates, but I want you to understand that there's literally no words. There's just no words for this. Both literally and figuratively. There's simply none words. It could be anything. Even the word boat repeated like 32 times. Brother. Okay. At some point, that guy went berserk and ripped off his shirt. The boss saw something that seemed to panic her. There's like so not enough context for me to understand that. All the rest of his things are no comment, which is very irritating. The second guy isn't much better. All started in the ringmaster. So like, the notes seem to imply that like the order is always the same or whatever. So I think when this guy says first, he means second. I think is the correct takeaway. You get to write your own story. Your wife's name is Targus. Oh, that's a great point. Okay, and the last guy with the most stuff? So he's saying first is third, and last is second. And then I just have to figure out the other ones. Top admired the silver string of my bow. Is that the wire he's wearing? The angels were destined to pass into the second twins. Okay, what do we have? Finally, Trip Top granted the angels their freedom. The angels melted into the page of an open book. They danced on the robot's finger, and the second twin followed them. Oh. So the thing that liberated myself. So he definitely like took off his shirt as the liberation. You say second is fourth, but like, so I'm going, so like, I don't believe, no, I guess, it is kind of chronological to him, yeah? Get out of here, not you. So his second statement. Liberated. At some point that guy went berserk. So the thing that he cares about was... It feels like this should be fourth. No, I agree with you that, like, vibes-based, this feels like it should be fourth. I think going by, like, what they're trying to tell us about the way that they're, like, chronologically perceiving stuff, like, this is correct. But, like... So if this guy sees in the normal order, if this is the correct first thing... Okay. Okay. So we got that far. So this guy, like, took off his shirt and someone noticed he was wearing a wire. And then Trip Top granted the angels their freedom, and the angels melted into the page of an open book. I don't really know what that means. Angels danced on the robot's finger. And the second twin swallowed them whole. And the angels were destined to pass into the second twin's bowels. And to be rescued by an armored horse. And the armored horse is probably like a car that seems to have driven off. The translation. Okay, awesome. Except not at all. Like, insanely annoying. The twins, you say. Twins, Basil. I'm gonna say armored horse's car. I feel like I have context for that. Brother. Silver string is his wire. The angels, I really have no idea. And the same with the open book. Angels melted into the page of an open book. I mean, is it like that? Doesn't seem like it's literal. It doesn't seem like it's just like making note. Oh shoot, something happened to this microphone. What is the takeaway here? They went into the parking garage? And then so like, somehow they went down the fire escape, went into this bizarre looking parking garage entrance, and then just like drove through the security gate to flee the cops, because the cops say that like they. Oh wait, what? So this got to be relevant, right? This is the finger of the robot. It's the girder that you can't really. You can kind of see out the window. But wait, but why are they... Why would this window be open if they have to get to here? Maybe the fire escape is the bowels. Top admired the silver string of my book. So this guy is maybe like a police informant, and the top, the top person, the boss, saw the wire. The angels melted into the page of an open book. So the angels are probably... Well, no. What are the twins? Wait, what are the... Maybe like the gangsters are the twins? The second twin. Maybe that's like the window or something? Your character asked that guy what happened here off... Okay, good call. I mean, that confirms my suspicion, using actual evidence, like some sort of detective or something. So they went... So the bowels are the parking garage? Is that possible? It says, everything is simmering now, tried and filled completely not to sweat. I mean, I don't know how you're going to accomplish no sweat under those circumstances. Neko, I have good news for you. I don't think you were here when we found the pinnacle of... Like, there's nowhere left to go in terms of puzzle design in a Golden Idol game. Are you ready for this? Look at it. There are no words. It's a Mad Lib with absolutely no words in it. Incredible. The boys at the lab will have a field day with this. Finally, someone giving me the reaction I was looking for. I mean, what are you talking about, Neko? It's incredible. Look at this technology we've innovated. My gut says that the bowels is... Could be the fire escape, maybe? It feels like, contextually, it's closer to, like... the parking garage entrance. So Trip Top granted the angels their freedom, and the angels melted into the pages of an open book. Maybe it's like a translation thing and it's evacuation. The second twin. So the twin is building, yeah? I'm pretty sure Bowels is parking garage. I think twin is like building. The robot's finger is a girder. I don't know what this open book thing is. A window? The open book is a window? Because they had to go through... Because they had to open the book to get to the robot's finger. And then get in the second twin. So the angels are gangsters. Okay, great. We've done it. So now, as... Wait a minute. Also, when the ringmaster ordered the lions out of the tent, they jumped through the... Yeah. Okay, I understand how that would be helpful, but yeah, whatever. Shut up. Okay, great. So... What in the face of the earth? What am I... I mean... There's nothing here. some part of me still wants to give this asinine game credit for this somehow being something like clever. But I gotta tell you that at the end of the day, this really just seems like we absolutely ran out of ideas. Like, is there anything that screams that we've just, like, completely lost the plot of our own game other than just, like, putting this up there and being like, I don't know, figure it out, loser? Like... First three is like undercover cop, removed shirt. I mean, it's probably something like that, yeah. Why does it go back and forth, though? If that's even what's happening. Boss. Saw. Wire. Boss. Ordered evacuation? Gangsters. It seems like we're skipping the open window step, even though, like, it kind of seems like we're supposed to be following every single beat from the transcription. No, exit, not opened, exited via window. Then, like, gangsters traversed girder? Gangsters entered window. And then, like, second, so, parking garage. Entered? I'm gonna say entered. And then to be rescued. Guess just gangsters again. Drove car? Drove car? Okay. I mean, like, I'm being a little bit of a jerk, which I think I've earned because I've played this game so far. But, like, for real, like, I get the idea of this, but you know how this looks, right? You have to understand what I'm saying. We've solved the scenario. The gangsters were experimenting with a device that disarranged memories. When the most affected of the test subjects revealed he was an undercover cop, the boss realized they had to flee. With the workshop surrounded, their only way of reaching their car was via girder that could get them to the neighboring building. Like, why is that even, like, set up, though? Second window could have been building. That seems reasonable. It's good that that's redundant, probably. It's the lion car. I don't know, my mustache guy is, like, here, or whatever. So that was that whole segment, huh? For some reason I expected that because it was so much shorter than the previous one. That, like, when it said like a thing happened in like 4 stages, that it was going to be like a whole more involved thing. Click the photo. Commentary case of 01667. Lead investigator Roy Sampson. After completing my investigation of 1A Francis CR, I have come to a terrible realization. If this disarranger can do to others what it did to Officer Martins, there's no telling how dangerous it could be. Physical destruction, mental incapacitation, and an insidious method of application. In the wrong hands, it could do unspeakable things, and it appears to be in the wrong hands as we speak. I have to find out what they plan to do with it next. So wait, do you think that he had like a normal face before they did that to him? Do you think that's part of it? It's an address, 1A Francis Circle. Why does that feel so unfamiliar? Is that normally how we shorten circle in the US? I feel like I've never seen that before. Okay, hold on. We haven't finished the thing, but I can finish the thing. The... Bauer Gang? Headed by Hildegard Bauer? It's one of 2... chicken services? Crime families, I guess? Blank gained blanks blank by working on the blank. This blank is... gave advice that blanked the blank gang. Wait, what? As revenge, the blank gang blanked the blank. Okay, hold on. As revenge, obtain. So the gang was. Sorry, I need to read this out loud. I'm trying too hard to like solve it, and not enough to like be doing content. The blank gang, headed by blank blank, was one of 2 blank blank in New Wells. Blank blank gained blank blank's blank by working on the blank and gave advice that blanked the blank gang. As revenge, the blank gang blanked a blank in blank blank's blank so they could obtain blank that the blank gang was blank blank. They gave this blank to blank blank. When blank 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 a surprise blank 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 called for blank blank of a blank that could blank people's blank using blank. Are you done with all the scenarios here? No. So some of this information could definitely be covered by the last one, that's for sure. But it's super, like, historically, it doesn't give me access to this if I can't do it, which is weird. Like, it's entirely possible I'm not meant to do this now, but like it breaks completely with the game's tradition to give me all of this information if it doesn't expect me to solve it. At the same time, it's also a break from tradition. What do you... Oh no, wait. Wait, is there like a whole entire red herring screen that's nothing? Am I... That's so insane! Wait, why is it even here? Oh my god, I have a personal vendetta against whoever made this game. I hate them. They make all these insane decisions. They're chaotic evil. Why are they like this? I mean, it's... So the Bowers are working with the mayor, which I think fills into some part of this. Evidently, I guess we've done all the scenarios here, I guess. Hard to say for sure if that's true. As revenge, the blank game. Okay, hold on. They gained blank. They gained was blank. Working on the blank. Gave advice that blanked. Gave advice. I feel like this is supposed to tie into the mayor. I feel like it's like gains Moira Meredith's favor. But by working on what, I'm presently unclear. Catan says of his Pathfinder game, we ended our session tonight at the beginning of an encounter. And after that encounter, we're going to level up. That is, I mean, the level up's always the best part, right? It's a weird paradox of the game. It happens rarely, and it's the best part. It's revenge. Blank game. Blank game. Blank. I mean, I think here we're talking about the tape recorder. And your gang planted a tape recorder in Bauer's office so they could obtain evidence, so they could obtain electricity or chicken. What? What do you mean obtain? They could obtain crime. That the Bauer gang was blank blank. That they were selling drugs? Because they don't want the mayor to know about that, and the mayor seems to legitimately care about the drug thing? Sorry, wrong category. Selling drugs. They gave this... evidence is a word that I just didn't see checking that several times. They gave this evidence to Moira Meredith. Working on the blank. They gave advice that weakened the Andier gang. Working on the... press conference? No, the Heritage Project? The guard. When blank blank blanked a surprise blank. Is raid one of my words? No, wait. Blanked a surprise blank. Blank blank called for blank blank of a blank I guess weapon? That could scramble people's memories using sound. Called for accelerated testing is a word. Blank, blank, blank. A surprise blank. Surprise blank. I hate that they put North Side here. This game just like constantly insults your intelligence. Blank, blank, blank. A surprise blank. Surprise. Announced a surprise press conference when the mayor. Okay, I did it. Hi, Jakey. Welcome to the stream. This looks like the most annoying case yet. You'd be so right. I'm really having a difficult time being objective because I think I started this stream at too low of an energy level, and we had like an insanely like needlessly convoluted case followed by like one of the easiest cases of all time, and then like this, and like my main reaction to this meta puzzle to sort of tie this up is like I don't they haven't laid any groundwork for me to care about any of this. I just like I don't like the weakest part of the first game is mostly its own DLC. And the reason for that is because it introduces a bunch of characters that I'm not like emotionally invested in and like focuses entirely on them and ignores all the stuff I cared about from the plot of the game at large. And I understand why they made that decision, if for no other reason than like you want it to seem like separate so that like people coming back to the game like months after finishing the main story or whatever to do the DLC, like you don't want them to like feel alienated or whatever. But like at the same time, it then like I just didn't care all that much about it. Like some of the cases were like sort of interesting, like self-contained in their own right or whatever. But like I just wasn't invested in the characters in the same way that I was the ones in the game who had like built this entire empire and then crumbled it with their own hubris. Like that was like a really interesting story that was told in a series of snapshots where you had to like puzzle out like cleverly concealed information through well thought out puzzles. In this game, they just keep like throwing out like a bunch of characters and like double crosses and like convoluted motives and like keep making up things that the idol can do and what like why even does the like possessed professor like have access to his own idol? The only idol that this game even like intimates up to this point is the one that got shoved out of the window of the TV station and is like busted to heck now. Like all of its like focusing lenses are like smashed, which like I'm not even sure why the thing needed those in the first place because the other golden idol didn't need it. So like I don't know. It just like it seems as though this game seeks to like answer a bunch of questions I didn't ask instead of telling me a story I care about. Like am I being too cynical? Like does anyone care about these like two gangs, both alike in dignity? Like I don't. I even like remember one of their names correctly, and there's only two of them. Just got home from a bar with Taco Bell. Nice. It's really funny. There's like a Taco Bell near me that like underwent some renovation, and like my mom follows like a local community like food discussion group on like Facebook to like know when like new restaurants and stuff are opening. And like apparently everyone was like throwing a fit. They're like, you can't close the one specific Taco Bell, even though there's another one. Like people will riot. It's the good one, I guess. I don't know. And then like I drove past it this week, and like I swear it simultaneously has two signs up, like a series of banners that say like reopening, and then like one that implies it's like opening for the first time. It's really weird. But I guess you can get Taco Bell at that one specific Taco Bell. It wasn't actually closed for very long, but people seem pretty upset about it. It's Pride weekend in your city. Do you have any specific plans for Pride? Does that mean that there's like a big parade and just people gathering in general, or are there like more specific events than that, Jakey? I'm glad that there's still Pride stuff going on, even though we're coming close to the end of the month. It's really funny. I think I've mentioned on stream before, like many times, that I listened to a radio station called Pride Radio, which is basically gay colon the radio station. And at the start of like, I guess it was like late May for Memorial Day, they were like heavily advertising this like gay like men's celebration in like Key West. And like now that like we're at the end of Pride, they're like heavily advertising like Women's Day on like Labor Day. That is just interesting. They're like the holiday weekends that like sandwich the summer. One is for the gay men and one is for the gay women. It's like, all right, I can see what you're going for there. I feel like for July 4th, it should be like buys only or something. I don't know. just feels like you gotta balance the scales or something. Okay, cool. Do I get like a fake cutscene for this? Like, honest to God, like I'm not even like trying to be difficult. Like I don't care enough to be like, oh, of course that's what's happening with Hildegard Bauer. Unraveling, full of sound and fury. Hey, you know what? That is my mental state. We got there. The game did solve the mystery. Unraveling, full of sound and fury. That's me. I'm that guy. What on the Earth? What on Mars and Jupiter and Earth? What am I looking at? Someone cut that snake apart, and it mostly seems fine. It seems like it's busy eating. Oh God, I'm gonna melt into a puddle just trying to comprehend this. Why is it? Hey, everyone, tag yourself in this image, okay? Someone called Dolly. Maybe. You need a sapphic weekend for the ladies. Well, there is a sapphic weekend for the ladies. That's Labor Day. If you need a sapphic weekend for the ladies, then you go to Key West for Labor Day. That's what you do. Okay, Jakey says they're the balloon. I kind of feel like it's tough. I feel like I'm the disgruntled Cyclops, to be honest with you. Like, part of me wants to like claim I'm the martyr and be like, I'm the snake with its head cut off. And like some other weird part of me just like feels a sense of kinship to whatever's going on here with the bee launcher. Neko says she's the bottom eyeball. I'm picking up that vibe. Ocean says also balloon. Maybe the ship. Ooh, yeah, the ship's kind of cool, huh? I think I'm the Cyclops. Like, he looks like he has a sense of purpose, like he's trying to tell someone to stop doing something stupid, like cutting the head off the snake or whatever. Or the lips ball. Yeah, I'm not paying too much attention to the lips ball. My brain doesn't want to process that. Anyway, like, the ends of the tubes have been cut. And by the way, you're seeing this too, right? Like, I'm encouraged that you all are able to describe some of the things on the screen, because, like, it just... Did the game crash and I went to hell or something? Like, am I just... Imagine if this is the scene your sister walks in on. That seems like a thing that would happen, yeah. He looked at my wondrous scroll. Why does it make him worry? He is crazed. Yeah, man. Look at this wondrous scroll. Here I am, but then I go. The work bell rings and the kings arrive. The good twin must be let in. His departure creates a void. A hero is here, but rebuffed. The void is filled by the evil twin. He hides his nature and unpicks his brother's work. The eyes and ears gather. Why does my wondrous scroll make him worry? Reminds me of the Wacky World Tiny Toons. Oh, I only vaguely remember that. Yes, go! Deflate her! Ruin her! Poison her! Deflate her! Alright. Maybe I am the weird robot who's listening to bees, because he's full of spite for the game. And that's also me. So, like, okay. So the crossbow, which I presume is being held by the kid with the helmet on. Someday you'll get that joke, it's fine. In decom. But so like this fired this shell missile bullet arrow thing through the snake. The weird thing is, like, the snake should be connected to the lip balls, and nothing seems to indicate when they got cut off. Yeah, the dodo. Yeah. Like, that's, like, all I remember about the Wacky World from Tiny Toons. Like, just enough to, like, you say that, and I, like, think of the character, but, like, I can't think of anything that happened or whatever. Hi, anime. What's going on? Can we please kill the random eyeball creatures? Unfortunately, despite the location of the crossbow arbalest thing, I'm not actually in control of the weapon and thus not able to do the violence. Welcome to the stream. You have answered Demolition's call of someone coming in at this point in the stream and having valid opinions. There are 41 spots? What? No, I will not be silenced, for I am a fool. I heed no hero. Guys, I think I hate it here. I think this is the worst thing that's ever happened to anyone. Can anyone think of anything that's ever been worse than this? I mean... Crossbow wielder shot the snake too. This is a scrambled memory, for sure. I mean, yeah, I get it, but like... Just watching bad dancers dance for dollars. That could be worse. Well, that inexplicably reminds me. I saw an ad for... Apparently they're doing a new reality show to find a new Dancing with the Stars professional dancer, which is interesting because I feel like it's been 10,000 years since there was like a normal season, and I presume this happens before they do another normal season. I don't understand how there are 36 other spots that I'm not seeing. A pair of robots told the snake to attack the balloon? Yeah, I'm gonna say balloon? Crossbow wielder shot the snake to... I mean, protect the balloon? Brother, what do you think is going on? Don't act like video game, don't act like this is like normal, okay? Dude. If you see this note, did I leave my uniform in your locker by accident? I don't have a spare, and mine's been gone since it went out to the cleaners yesterday. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul. Speaker and a microphone contain the same basic internal components. Electric signals, sound, electromagnetic coil and diaphragm, sound, electric signals. When wired as a speaker, electrical signals are converted into sound. When wired as a microphone, it's converted into sound is converted to electrical signals. Uh-huh. I saw your setup as I left. The microphone is hardwired to the speakers, and they're facing away from the mayor. The microphone is hardwired to the speakers, and they are facing away from the mayor. All of them? Or the speakers? You can conjugate that. Or you didn't... Antecedent that good. Good. I'm not too worried about the speakers. They only want to hit her, not a whole crowd. They need something close to her face, and they don't have that. Something wrong? Let me show you something, detective. Not sure what Roy's looking for, but I suppose it's not my concern. Just gotta grab me some backup. Delicious backup. Okay, hold on. The speakers are hardwired to the podium, but they've inverted the microphone and the speakers is the point of the sign. Okay, reporter should be here in about an hour. I suppose I'll have to wait until after the conference to get a coffee. The heck? Moira and security arrived at 8 a.m. A half hour later, Sonic Solutions guy showed up and then left 40 minutes after that. 35 minutes later, Roy Sampson arrived and left. What does he say? Workers will be here in about an hour. So you're saying this is 10 a.m. So they'll be here at 11? Okay. It's the mayor. That's Ms. Meredith to you. And it's not just the phone. Walkie-talkies, hardwiring the speakers. I'm not sure if I believe sound can be that dangerous. Class 3 labs. After cleaning of illicit materials, see drug schedule page 317. Building may return to regular use. Class 4 labs. For public safety, buildings harboring Class 4 labs must be destroyed. Okay. And then this cool and normal-looking individual who is not a Bond villain. Sonic Solutions, gotta go fast. I feel like Sonic Solutions is like a shell company for Dr. Eggman. Because he's like innovating things to solve his Sonic problem, yeah? I wish you hadn't turned him away, Moira. Roy's a trustworthy man. If he says a phone is a risk, I'd rather be safe than sorry. And then in the safe is a phone and 3 walkie-talkies. And on the desk is a note. People of New Wells have to take responsibility here. It's my resignation. I have failed you. Written that weird. I guess she's saying, like, I shouldn't deflect blame, but, like, this doesn't fill the space or whatever. I failed you. The Heritage Project was meant to keep the buildings of our community safe and crossed out and build them up to their former glory to move to after identity revealed. Now, though, I have become an unwitting agent in their destruction, but I was not alone in this. And then over here, idiot, senseless killing gets you caught. This way we go unnoticed, and no one can trust her information ever again, provided this works as well as it did in testing. I suppose I should get moving as well. Secunda should know all the necessary details, Miss Bauer. He has a radio signal receiver and a folded set of overalls with a music note. So he's like a plant from the sound solution. He's infiltrated the, you get it, the Sonic Solutions. Gotta go fast. I still think we could just kill her. No one can besmirch the name of Hildegard Bauer. Arbash, Arbash I go. Ket Samal, trust in Echo Secunda. I think that's written on currency, yeah? Bauer Restoration Works, under construction. Oh, right, Bauer Restoration. Yeah. So they were, yeah. Danger renovation in progress. Keep out. We're missing 10 spots. But the way this is structured... So the balloon is Moira. And the... This is the receiver. This is the emitter. This is the microphone? I believe the idea is that this is the microphone. The blank is being used by blank. The crossbow. What is the crossbow? So the crossbow is attacking the snake. Snake is the microphone. I think we're saying that, like, Roy is, like, telling her folks... Yeah, so... Yeah, the snake is the microphone. And the lips are the speakers. The scroll He looked at my wondrous scroll. Why does it make him worry? The wondrous scroll. So the red guys feel like they're police or bodyguards? Oh, no, wait a minute. The Cyclops. Yeah, he's the Bond villain. I don't know, is that partner? Like, I don't know who the heck this guy is. I've never seen him before in my life. He looked at the scroll. The orange guy's box. He has the emitter, and a portable microphone, and a thing that's... Look, Neko, it's kind of a golden idol. It's the innards of part of a golden idol. Aren't you impressed after all this time? They really don't like to show the golden idol in this game at all, which is really bizarre and obtuse. Translator is weird. Blank is being used, but so like the... I guess it's just a gun? I guess it's just a gun. I don't know what translator's doing here. The wondrous scroll. The wondrous scroll. Is that her speech? Roster. He looked at my wondrous scroll. Why does it make him worry? He is crazed. Wondrous scroll. It's got like a seal on it and everything. Roster. I guess this is... Yeah, this can be either. Is this security? I don't know what partner or translator are doing here. Is there something that's just like... I guess reporters? And then what is this? Just like roster? Roster is such a weird word to go there. It feels like that should be like the speech. What did my wondrous scroll? Oh no! This guy! This guy! This guy! He's not a random guy. He's this guy. And so the list includes Sonic Solutions, and he knows that's like a shell company or whatever. Oh, fudge biscuit. Look at this. Look at this horrible. Look at this garbage. Look at this trash. Look at all this trash. Brother. Blank. Okay. Blank blank planned to blank her blank, and that blank blank had been using the blank blank as a blank to blank blank. You follow? Blank blank planned to blank 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 by blank her blank. Blank blank warned blank blank and her blank that blank could be blank. After talking to blank from blank blank, blank blank worried that the blank could become a blank. After returning to the conference and blank at the blank, blank blank realized the blank blank had blank himself as a blank blank and blank up blank to the blank, so blank 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 the blank. Okay? I'm gonna say Hildegard, Bauer, plan to... No. Plan to... No, not sure. Not sure what that is. Blank, blank, plan to blank her blank. And that blank, blank... God, that seems weird. Had been using the blank, blank... Using the, Heritage Project as a cover to... protect crimes? Shouldn't there be... Oh, manufacture drugs? Guess that part is slightly unclear to me. Hey, Critwitch, thank you for the resub. It's 75 months. So far you're falling. Great, Critwitch. That means that you're doing way above curve. That's great. That's exciting. By the way, just in case you were unclear about anything, let me hook you up. This will explain everything. Ready? Ready for it? Okay, do you have any further questions now that you've seen this? I'll give you a moment. But now that you've seen this, you have no further questions, right? Like anything that you were like a little unclear on, now it makes perfect sense, right? Yeah? I assume. Totally. Okay, great. You're awesome. You're doing great. Blank plan to blank her blank. Do I have resign? To announce her resignation. Yeah, okay. Not the way I would necessarily expect that to be written, but okay. So that's Moira Meredith planning to announce her resignation, and that Hildegard Bauer was doing evil. Blank blank plan to blank 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 by blank her blank. So that's scrambling her memoir. Plan to become drugs to steal idol, earworms and aliens, and someone's bad lucid dream. Yeah, you know, earworms and aliens. You totally understand. You get it. You get it. I get you. You get it. It gets me, or something. I don't know. I feel like I need the word like neutral to stop the mayor. Hildegard Bauer plan to stop Moira Meredith by scrambling her memory. Roy Sampson warned Moira Meredith and her security, I think that's probably right, that sound could be dangerous after talking to Greg? Is his name Greg? Greg from Sonic Solutions. Sounds like a guy hired to fix something in my house and be mad about it. Talking to Greg from Sonic Solutions. Roy Sampson worried that the microphone could become a weapon? Dangerous? Become a speaker? Speaker's probably what we're going for. Put that in. After returning to the conference and blank at the blank, blank blank realized a blank blank had blank himself as a blank blank and blank a blank to the blank. God, there's like no content in this paragraph. Oh God. Man, considering how different the first and second games are, some part of me is like, if they ever did a third one, like what even would it look like? You know? Man. So blank blank. So Roy Sampson shot the microphone. This I've gathered from the super clear dream sequence. Returning to the conference and blank at the blank and like a podium. Looking at the blank blank realized a blank bodyguard as a security realized a single word read. Blank himself as a blank blank. And I mean, I got like attached or something, right? Attached a receiver to the speaker, probably. After returning to the conference and blank at the blank. Looking at the because the wondrous scroll. He got upset about the wondrous scroll. So looking at the roster, Roy Sampson realized a blank blank had disguised himself as a it doesn't feel like as a sound technician. Okay, realized a Bauer gangster. Okay, 2 or fewer incorrect. Moira Meredith had planned to announce her resignation and that Hildegard Bauer had been using the Heritage Project as a cover to manufacture drugs. Is there another blue that goes there? It's about the drug trade. Pair drugs, protect drugs, become drugs. I think she was planning to become drugs. That explains the memory, the busted memory. To scramble to steal, not to steal, to kill, manufacture, stop looking. I think it's manufacture. Hildegard Bauer planned to stop Moira Meredith by scrambling her memory. That seems straightforward enough. Roy Sampson warned Moira Meredith and her security that sound could be dangerous. After talking to Paul. After talking to Greg. Wait, what does that tell me? It's one of those two names. I don't know which one Paul is. Is Paul the guy? No, Paul is nobody. Paul is nothing. Okay, Greg? So what does that tell me? That has to tell me something. That tells me that I only have one incorrect, I think. After talking to Greg from Sonic Solutions, Roy Sampson worried that the microphone could become a speaker, correct? After returning to the conference and looking at the roster, Roy Sampson realized a Bower gangster had disguised himself as a sound technician and attached a receiver to the speaker, I believe. Well, to the microphone. Okay. Oh, God bless America. How many? Not that many. Where did Roy end up? He was guarding the side street. Unhand me. I don't know what that woman told you, but I run a legitimate business, and you have brutalized my employees. Echo requests seeing the idol again. I mean, it's like a busted half idol. Like, the innards of the idol we've seen now is kind of a gold brick with some tendrils on it. The crystal is usually on the outside. It does important. This one looks busted as heck. It's like, it's not usually supposed to be red and blue. It seems like they already broke this sucker. But like, I mean, if you like look at any like promotional image for either Golden Idol game, it shows you what like the OG idols are supposed to look like before they got janked up in this game. This dude's dead. That guy died. He perished. Okay, look, here's an even more busted up idol. Weird flex for the start of 4 DLCs to break the idol again. Am I a historian or history? Our escape, his weapon, our hunger, my service. Oh, brother, this guy is having, like, super crazy dreams. Against all odds, we rise, not as conquerors, but as protectors of a galaxy that will remember this day forever. Rough. That's rough, buddy. Okay, that's all the TV there is? So, like, definitely Roy, like, took a bad phone call? Oh, for the sake of God. That's too much. That might be too much. Why did someone make such a suspiciously shaped hole in the wall? You know the answer to that. You know what guys are like, Neko. She was confused about what was on it. I guess, Jet, listen. The game has kind of established like 3 different ways that the idol is constructed. It's very confusing. Zacho says, hey, someone killed a guy in the red hoodie. But I don't control the crossbow, you understand. Oh, man. Let me look at this garbage. Look at this garbage. Is the idea just that I, like, put them in some kind of logical order? Dude, this is a nightmare. I hate this. This sucks. I understand why this seems like it's a cool mechanic, but I just want to commit crimes. So many crimes. I don't know why this guy is seeing the idol. I guess he was part of the... I'm confused about, like, the Heritage Project is distinct from the other Heritage thing. This is maybe really divisive. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I think my kiss, marry, kill for this game is blank, blank, and blank. Oh, I should have read that more carefully before reading that out loud. That's crazy, Neko. So the laggers are like the gang members, yeah. Oh, brother, there's no way, there's no shot. Listen, we're doing this tomorrow. I simply cannot be bothered. I cannot do like 2 like 24 panel like brain descrambling. Like, get out of here. Get that weak stuff out of here. There's no way. I'm going to lose my mind. I can barely function, and they're like, here, make a photo collage of your worst nightmare. I feel like that series of inputs should have closed the game, and it didn't, but I did now. I did it now. Tell me how you really feel about it, Vasco. I mean, listen, I don't think I've been at all shy about my feelings about this game. Listen, say what you will about me, but I honestly feel like I continue to act in good faith as if this game has a shot at continuing the legacy of the first game in some meaningful way. I feel like I, maybe not consistently, but like frequently, like approach these new scenes with an open mind and with the idea that like it won't be the most annoying thing I've encountered in the video game so far. And like I don't even know that I necessarily, I don't know. I'm not gonna speak to whether I think that having two players, having two characters in the game have their minds scrambled, so you have to like assemble a story you know little about from context from other scenes. If I think that's a good idea, it seems a little bit insane to have to do it for two characters like simultaneously and to like not prime it with like more interesting like backstory or something. But like it's like it's 12:50. I have stuff to do in the morning. I'm at wit's end. Like these puzzles tonight been like brutal. The whole dog race thing took like 2 hours and like wasn't very interesting. So like I'm gonna make a good faith effort to like do the thing tomorrow, and maybe in the end I'll think it's at least okay. It's just way too much. Like I'm already like so close to like ending the stream, and they're like, "Here's just like Mount Everest worth of nonsense all at once fired out of a shotgun 6 inches from your face." And I simply don't have time for that. I simply don't. Um, New guy. Yeah, I was talking about it at the start of the stream. Not actually a new guy. Like, oh god, how old at this point? Like 8, 9 years old or something like that. But like for a while I'd been debating if he would sort of stand on the weird pegs on top of the shelf of his own volition, and he does. So he's there. But also earlier, after I put him up there and like did something else and came back to adjust him, he had a whole spider in his mouth, and I was displeased. I did not like the spider surprise. One day I'll watch the VODs for the first game and compare them. You should. The first game is so good. It has a couple of rough spots, but the first game is really good. And it's insane to me that people talk about these games as if they're like remotely similar. Like I haven't like drilled down into it because I'm like not looking for spoilers. But like for God's sake, like the fact that like I feel like I need people to be like, the Case of the Golden Idol is a very good game. The Rise of the Golden Idol technically exists if you're so inclined. But like it's so not the same thing. Not the same thing. Okay, listen, there's Squirtles. The Squirtle looks like this. This is kind of a weird one, but they kind of look like this. I've hidden them amongst the plush toys on display. Look around and see if you can find a Squirtle. Figure out where they might be hiding. Locating a Squirtle in this hidden in this way is an omen of good luck. You might need it in case you too are planning on torturing yourself with Rise of the Golden Idol or anything comparable. Rise of the Golden Idol is one of the games of all time. It's true. This has been bothering me for a while, and it's completely apropos of nothing. But like, I keep seeing these ads around for like the COAT, and it's like the greatest, like it's something like the greatest like customer of all time, and I'm like, my brother in fate. That's not what the GOAT is. Then you would be describing the customer of all time, which is nothing. I assure you, it's nothing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it just shows such a flagrant disregard for like the slang. It's hateful. You can tell I'm like doing super good emotionally by how upset I am about this ad. Keep seeing ads for Kashi and Poly Market. Oh, okay. Scroll behind Carlos. Need to see the drag. Okay, hopefully it's not like full of spiders and that was a spider fluke. Do have to inform you that if there are more spiders coming out of that dragon, we're gonna have a problem. Okay. Carlos, house. Say full of spiders. I just told the story a second time. There was a spider. There's a spider. Spider. I'm tired. I'm very tired. Okay. 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 I don't see any spiders. Previously, there had been a spider directly in the mouth. I don't think it was there when I picked it up, but I put it on the shelf and I looked at it, and there was like something in its mouth. I went to pick it up. It was a whole spider, an entire live spider. It's not alive anymore. I took care of it. The spider's gone. So yeah, there's your dragon. See a Squirtle behind Flare? I don't think you do. I think what you see is the Loch Ness monster. If I move the Loch Ness monster, you could kind of see a Squirtle there. Carlos guys, you got a Squirtle. Preferences no spiders. Agreed. I also don't want that lizard to be in my garage anymore because I have to inflate my tires. Also, the house had this Squirtle behind it. And that is because the theme was smiling friends, friends with smiles on them. I just thought it would be nice to have the smiling good positive energy. So congratulations! Every guess I saw was just is contained multitudes of Squirtles. So many Squirtles. So congratulations to those folks. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you again soon. I'll be back playing this thing tomorrow. We'll probably spend like 3 entire hours with me physically ripping hair out of my head trying to like order the nonsensical vision board of 2 nightmare creatures following a sonic disturbance. But until then, take care of yourselves and remember that you are Clawsome.